Welcome back to the All Gains podcast. I am your host, Andrew.
And I'm Mike.
And we have our special guests today, Shemin and Patrick.
Hello, guys.
Hi.
What is up, people?
Yo, this has been a crazy few months, right? How you guys been holding up? Doing good? How's the magazine been doing?
Well, let's go back to like a refresher. So tell us about like what is this magazine that Mike's talking about right now? For people who don't know, you have to like kind of
since the last time you've been on Shemin.
Who are you?
Since the last time you've been on Shemin, at least.
Oh, okay. Got it. Yeah. I've talked about it, so you go.
Yeah. So this magazine is called Emotional Alchemy. It kind of has a really weird long backstory, but I was interning for this company called Phoebe Patchouli, and I was hired on as a writer. And my boss was like, I really want to create this lifestyle magazine and call it like Aquarius Journal. And she had this whole like game plan of how she wanted it to go. And just to make like a long story short, it basically went nowhere. I hired a bunch of writers. My boss like hated all of them and basically fired them. Or I had some writers like walk out because they just couldn't deal with my boss because she is a little crazy. I guess I could put it that way. Yeah, a little out there.
Yeah.
And there's one day in particular that I was kind of on like my last straw with her, and I brought Shemin to one of our meetings just to kind of see if she could help at all. And I feel like my boss just kind of wanted nothing to do with you.
Yeah,
right?
It hurt. It did hurt.
And even like a lot of my fellow interns just like did not pay any attention to you at all.
And I wasn't used to that. I'm not used to rejection.
Most people are not.
Yeah, most people are.
So to me, I was like, screw this. I don't want to be here anymore. And I was there for a year or two. So I was just getting so sick and tired of it. And in the car ride home, my boss lived in Brooklyn, and we're actually at her apartment. So on the way home, we just like started talking or whatever. And I was like, you know what? Like, screw it. I'm going to make my own magazine. And, you know, like I was joking around saying I was going to call it like Gemini magazine just to compete with like Aquarius and just like, you know, I got this. I could totally do it. And I feel like I kind of tossed it to the side for a little bit because I had my own shit I kind of had to deal with. And then probably around like May or June, I got back to you and was like, you know what? Let's actually do this. Like, let's make this happen. So we brainstormed for a couple of months and kind of came up with the idea of making Emotional Alchemy.
Yeah.
And since then, like, it's been pretty great. We're almost on a year. I
can't believe it. Yeah.
Would be our full year.
I think August we were like, yeah, we're accepting submissions. So how? I can't believe it's been a year already.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's cool. What got you into writing? You know, the passion of it. Like, what, you started out young, just writing stories, or
I feel like
I used to.
It's funny. So like back in middle school and high school, I felt like a ton of our English teachers were like, Pat sucks at writing.
Oh my God, that's
just
awful.
Like I was terrible at English, terrible at language arts and whatever.
I feel you.
I can barely speak English now. Don't
that
worry.
was the only class I was good in.
Must be nice.
Everything else I was horrible at. So.
And I remember just like having such a hard time trying to turn a story that I had like in my mind and actually putting it down on paper. And I had tutoring like back in elementary school. Yeah, I was horrible. Couldn't spell for shit.
I can't imagine that.
Terrible grammar.
I can't imagine that. Yeah. Well, because he writes very well. So for me, it's just like, I don't know. I'm just surprised by all of this.
A while. But actually, like, Miss Costelli, my sophomore year, I think finally was the first person to be like, I'm going to help you because I know you have the potential to, like, be a great writer. And something just clicked. Like, I can't remember it exactly, but she was just like, no, I have faith in you. You could do it. Like, just put your mind to it, sit down, you got this. And I think just working with her and then a few other teachers from our high school, it finally like all fell into place. And I had Miss McDeed our senior year too, and she like, I actually like
I just
really
went through this flash
loved
of
her.
my ear. I just got like a headache. I'm like, I think I need some salt. Just got a headache.
I know she scared some people, but honestly, like she was probably my favorite teacher.
So basically, you had this one teacher, and she kind of like was like that mentor. I guess like a mentor figure. Like, hey, you know what? I see potential in you, and you're like, what potential? And she was like, this potential. And then she kind of, and that kind of like, because I think we all have that one person in our life that kind of triggers us to know that we're beyond something that we didn't know we could do.
Yeah,
Definitely.
And with them too, like we had to write every single day, and that was something that was completely new to me too. So I also had to force myself to be like, let me get past any writer's block that I have or any like doubt that I have as a writer. And eventually, again, like everything kind of clicked into place. And for a while, I wouldn't consider it as like a hobby or anything. It was just something that like, if I had time to do, I would do it. Or if I had an assignment, like I'm not going to complain about it. But like I went to a theater arts school. I was doing scenic design, dropped out, went to Brookdale, started doing fashion merchandising. So it was kind of weird because it was still put really off to the side. And then from getting this internship, I actually applied for a photography position with my internship. And I think I had like one writing piece in my portfolio where my boss was like, no, I actually really love your writing. I want you to do this. And then she also kind of forced me into becoming a writer. And it was something that kind of grew organically from there and really fell into place. So I don't think I ever had this big like life-changing moment where I was like, yep, I'm a writer. I absolutely love it.
So kind of like over time, it just got a little bit more and more into it. There was no like, I got this. I know what I must do.
And I don't know, like it's weird. I don't really consider myself a writer still to this day, but just more of like an artist or a multimedia artist. I prefer not really doing creative writing in terms of poetry or like nonfiction or anything like that. Fiction. I'm definitely more nonfiction, like personal essay based. I love doing interviews too, so that's where a lot of my writing kind of stemmed into. But yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so Vivi wasn't all that bad. Like she led you on this path, you know?
Yeah, so everything that we're doing with the magazine too, like I have to give her a ton of credit where credit is due. Like I don't think any of this would have manifested without her.
I was just gonna say that, everything happens for a reason.
So you would say it's like your calling pretty much? It's like
I like to think so.
Your purpose, you know? Like,
yeah. Definitely.
That's what we need is like a purpose, like something that drives us. Because if you don't have anything like that, then you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
And so I feel like you guys doing that is something that's giving you a driving force to like continue and like push and do better every day. Which I think is, everyone's got to do that. We do it with, we try to get people on this podcast. We try to get people talking about stuff. We try to build muscle and help people like lose weight and stuff. So like we all have a mindset that is very similar.
Yeah, like the equivalent of like the combined forces of us, I kind of see like with you guys, because like we're both like two people are on a mission to create this thing. So we create this, and you're creating your thing, and like it becomes like not a job, but it becomes like your purpose. And like you want to create something, and everything you create will be eventually, it'll be inspiring other people, and you can make like a career out of it too. Like you can get big one day, but as long as you have consistency, of course, and always on the path. Because a lot of people
stay on the path.
Because a lot of people start stuff like this, but they give up because they're like, oh well, I can't do it, or their family says, oh, maybe you should just get a real job, But the people who usually do that,
that hurt so bad.
Unfortunately, those are the people that kind of develop that negative energy over time. But like, when you find like something you're very passionate about, it's important to kind of just like, if you know in your heart, in your gut, like you have that instinct that I have to do this no matter what. I think it's more of a conditioning thing that kind of tears you down over time. It's like, maybe I can't do it. You need to have that like I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
You know, and so far you guys have been like, you know, I've seen like you've been at this for a while. I noticed that.
Yeah.
A lot of people like they start something, and after a few weeks, like, yeah, I'm gonna change the world. And again, a couple weeks later, they're not making it. A couple months later, I guess they're not making any money. Like, wow, man, I guess it's not really. And then you give up after like a few months, and that's the wrong way to go. You know, because you can't just make it like that and be like, oh, I'm a millionaire now. It takes time, work, and you have to really love what you do. So if you don't love writing, then it just will never work. But if you do love it and you believe in what you create, like you obviously do, then there's something. There's like a little, you know, what's that thing I'm thinking about my like. There's one thing and it expands and it like is bigger. I don't know.
Oh my god.
I'm visualizing stuff. I don't know.
It's more like motivation type.
Yeah,
of
the ambition.
ambition and motivation to do things.
Well, I think what's kind of works with that too is like, again, I was at this internship for a year, and since day one was working on this magazine, and it literally went nowhere. So this was also kind of like my fuck you, like I definitely have the potential to do this, and like I still have the drive to do it, and I know I can. And I think what really works with Shemin and I is like, this is gonna sound so cheesy,
Say
but like,
it.
you
I
know,
love
like you
cheesy
completely, like, you know, you're my second half. But like, you know, I have my
so
thing
sweet.
that I do, you have
Yeah.
your thing. So like, I'm definitely more of the artistic kind of like
Yes.
visual person that's really like, all right, we have all the tangible writing, but how are we actually going to put this together into a magazine?
Yeah.
Build the aesthetic, like create the photos and the visuals for it. And you're definitely more of like, here's what I think would make a good piece. Definitely more of like the writer and proofreader and editor, and
I'm the asshole. Pretty much.
It seems like you sort of have different traits, but
Yeah.
like when you combine the forces, you know, combine both your minds together, that's when you really create the best stuff, like the
Yeah.
best work. Just like when Mike and I, we combined our mindsets and our ideas together to create everything that we put together. And then of course we have Joe, you know, he helps us too.
Joe's
So
very
we
good mind.
have a support. You know, we all need, obviously, you know, people think, oh, I got to do this by myself. But I think if you have people with similar mindsets coming together, you have a much better chance of creating something big, something legendary, I would say.
Well, yeah, I think we like experienced that. Remember when we came back from Brooklyn and you had to do the whole magazine in like a day?
yeah.
And then did I come over the
A
next
day,
day?
geez.
Or 2
Well,
days
yeah.
or something?
So what Shemin's talking about is after we met in Brooklyn the one day, I started drafting a magazine, and my boss was like, I absolutely don't like any of this. And this was like my third attempt at a magazine. She basically was like, I want you to completely create a content lineup. Like every single piece I want mapped out, which is not at all how you really would put a magazine together, especially if like you're looking to get people to submit work. So this was basically like she wanted me, instead of creating a magazine, I guess like create like a book of different works, but also she wanted me to like source writers and everything. So it was just really, really weird, because then you're having different points of interest. You know, not everyone that I'm hiring is going to want to write these pieces. So my boss was like, I'm going to give you a day, like I said, to create this entire content lineup. And I was literally freaking out because I was like, I have no idea what I'm going to do. So Shemin kind of was like, don't worry, you got this. I know you'll get it done. So I spent the entire night brainstorming this whole magazine, and it was double-sided too. So it was basically 2 magazines in one. And I think there's about like 36 pieces or so. And every single piece in this magazine, like, let's say if the first piece talked about this certain theme, the piece that mirrors it on the second side also had to relate to that topic. And every single piece had to build and still relate to each other. So like, even if you're reading it on one side, you could flip to the second side, because that's just like what my boss had. And like this crazy idea.
It was a lot.
Yeah, it was insane. But Shemin came over the next day and literally just helped me make sure everything that I wanted to put in this magazine worked and everything flew. And it did kind of mirror each other, and then it literally went nowhere.
Literally did all that work for nothing. So
Did all that work for nothing. I had to get it like approved by like one of my coworkers. He refused to look at it. Sent it to my boss. She also refused to look at it.
just shit people.
So it's like a lot of steps, right? It was not an easy process to get all this started, and there's going to be obstacles in your way, of course, stuff that you have to go through, which is, anything that you start. There's going to be people in your way, life's going to be in your way, life's going to throw you obstacles. There's going to be bad days, going to be good days, it's going to be hard, it's going to be a fun journey, though. It's worth it, but nothing comes easy.
Yeah.
Nothing comes easy
And
ever.
I'm proud to say just the beginning, because the best stuff always starts on the worst foot,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never starts out easy. If it did, everybody would be like millionaires right now, and everybody would be happy. A great world.
We would have a boat.
Yeah, I would like a boat. It's gonna happen.
And your air hockey table.
I mean, yeah, everyone. Who doesn't want an air hockey table in their house?
I want to around.
Exactly.
I want a boat. Like,
Well, I want both. Okay.
Law of attraction. Put it out there.
Exactly.
yeah.
I want an actual studio. That's what I want.
That
should like
an
We would love an
office.
office.
Yeah.
we would
Actual
love
staff.
actual staff to help
money.
us out.
That's the goal.
That's
Yeah.
the goal.
goal.
That's the goal.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Profit.
Profits, that would be great.
What's the next step?
I mean, I don't.
I
For
would.
me, I'm jumping like 20 miles ahead. I want an office. I want this to be like our full-time career.
And what's in your way right now?
Money.
Yeah. Honestly, that.
Struggles.
Struggle's real.
And Shaman, sorry, I'm gonna bring it up.
Go for it.
Dun dun dun.
I don't even-
COVID.
Oh yeah.
I want you.
Yeah, and the virus.
But honestly, since COVID happened, I would say like our submissions and even just like our engagement pretty much went down. Nothing like significant, but I would say like when we first launched, we probably got around 100 submissions or so. It was
A lot.
It was a
Yeah.
lot. And mind you, like we didn't even have followers at this time. I think we had like 100 people following us on Instagram. And it set us off like really well on the right track. Like we were able to get the first issue together. We had content for our website. And pretty much since COVID happened, like we've started a new submission series that we thought would do really well. And I think we probably got a max of like 25 submissions or something like that. Like it definitely wasn't a lot. And we also kind of had bad luck where like, let's say 100 people say they're going to submit, but out of those 125
Yeah.
do. And then there's actually only like 10 pieces that work out of that
And
25.
it's a little annoying because we do send them, like stuff to their email, and then we just
They
never
don't get
hear
anything,
back.
right?
Which is, I try not to get butthurt about it. Like people have lives
It's
and
kind of
whatever.
it's hard to help it.
Yeah,
But
like it's
kinda-
annoying. It's really annoying. But yeah, I agree with Pat. Everything has gone down since the virus. And it's not even just our magazine, like even my own stuff, like my engagement has gone down. I don't know. I think it's really weird because everyone's kind of at home. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's
I don't know.
I feel like everyone has like has been they haven't been focusing on like these other things like on these other social media platforms and stuff. I feel like they've been more focusing on like things like Netflix and that and probably also having built up anxiety about figuring out what the hell they're doing if like they don't have money or whatever. So I feel like that's another thing as well. People are just trying to take away from the problems that they have, and they're probably putting it into something completely different compared to what they would normally be doing. So that's probably why. Because I can say for us, our YouTube engagement has been very low, but since we built the All Games Mindset Facebook group, like that engagement has been pretty slowly increasing. We finally hit over 100.
That's awesome. Good
100
for you
members on
guys.
there, but like that's probably been the only positive that we've gotten so far through at least Corona. And
Yeah.
we're just trying to pump out like as much as we can. We had been posting videos like every week on YouTube, but like not a lot of them have been getting a lot of views. Some things it's probably because of the algorithm. YouTube algorithm doesn't like anything if you talk about Corona, so they just try to hide it. They pretty much just try to hide that stuff. And for a while we had only things talking about Corona, like how to things about the immune system and stuff, like try to talk about that, but like, you know, YouTube's like, nah, we're not going to show that. So that's probably why we didn't get as many views on that.
I like how they won't show that, but they'll continue to show Shane Dawson in blackface, but I'm not gonna get on that.
Well, remember, politics are more important than trying to change lives. So
yeah,
it's actually kind of weird. I would think that people would be submitting more to you during this time,
Yeah,
right? 'Cause
that's
they have
what
more
we
time.
thought.
That's
That's what we thought.
I honestly expected just a completely different situation.
yeah,
I thought you were gonna get like
exactly.
200 submissions. Oh my god, we have to read all this stuff. That's what I envisioned. Because I was like, oh, well, people are gonna write like crazy to you because they have nothing else to do, and they're taking unemployment and enjoying it.
and here I am, not getting unemployment or enjoying it. Anyway,
Yeah, we thought the same thing, but Instagram has been pretty dead. In all honesty,
It's also been kind of depressing.
Yeah, I mean,
let's not talk about
I
Twitter
wanna,
either.
yeah, I'm gonna say
Twitter
that's
is the
probably
devil.
why
yeah.
people are trying to avoid news, avoid anything that's going on with the world right now. So hopefully things will get better. We'll see.
It's interesting because
Maybe
one of
after
the things that we've been encouraging people to do is during all this, the last few months, is write stuff down and get used to putting their phone down for a minute and stop worrying about corona. We're all gonna die.
Yeah.
It's worry about individualistic problems. Worry about how you're gonna fix your own life compared to what's going on in the world. Oh my gosh, everything's going crazy right now. Calm down. Worry about yourself first. Are you living in a 5-story house right now by yourself with a big boat, big car? And if not, maybe you should take a little bit of time. Stop worrying about the world and start worrying about your own life. Because we always we have to worry about everybody else and not worry about ourselves. So we encourage more people to write stuff down and create their own stories, because obviously people have had more time to have leisure time, I guess. And if you're not working out, at least, be writing, and reading too. Reading is very important. It's kind of becoming a lost art, I think. Yeah. In general, there are obviously people who read and write, but, then people just watch Netflix all day. I have a video about that if anybody wants to check that out.
I'm that person. Well, I watch once I do everything in the daytime,
Guilty.
I'm guilty. Once everything, once I'm done doing everything in the daytime, at night I like to chill out and just watch my show.
If you get all your work done that you're
Yeah,
supposed
okay,
to, then
cool.
yeah. But if
Okay.
you're write stuff or watch this TV show.
I actually can't watch TV during the day. I just can't do
mental
it. I
weirdo.
think it's a mental thing because I'm always doing work.
It's a good thing. Good.
So-
Keep your mind
Yeah,
focused
yeah.
on the prize.
Yeah,
not
so-
focused on the screen.
Ooh.
I just can't do it. I can't watch TV during the daytime. If I'm watching anything during the daytime, it's YouTube. I'll put something on YouTube and watch it.
Is it informational, educational, any type?
Okay, I'm not gonna get onto this, but I've been kind of obsessed with everything going on with Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star.
I don't know what's going on with that. I
Is it- wait,
I
isn't-
can't explain it. It's gonna take up the whole
isn't
podcast.
Isn't it the whole makeup thing? There was that person, I don't remember the hell their names, but there was a whole bunch of that controversy a year ago or half a year ago.
Oh, with James Charles about him being a predator.
or something like that, or
Who is
whatever.
James Charles?
These are these weird people
Yeah,
on
I
YouTube.
don't know.
I don't know
things.
why I keep up with this stuff because it's crap.
I don't know why I
and
keep
it's
up with it
stupid.
either. It doesn't even sound interesting to me right now.
It's not. At this point, it's just stupid and it's just dragging on. But sometimes I just like to just keep up with the
Mindless
gossip.
entertainment.
What's the whole gossip? What's the situation?
I
Is
don't
there
know
a
anymore.
situation?
Shane Dawson is being
Shane Dawson?
accused of being a pedophile. Yeah, he put a lot of disgusting stuff online that should have not
Years ago,
been.
James Gunn?
Yeah.
Oh, same
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, exactly. And
The internet
Jeffree
never
Star
forgets.
hasn't come out with any it's just stupid.
Oh, he's that makeup guy, right?
Yeah, and he looks like Voldemort. Yeah.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, he has a
So-
pretty big following, right? Next to PewDiePie.
Yeah, but he's a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit and
I guess
doesn't
he is.
deserve his following.
Maybe he is. I
And
don't
then
know.
people are
Wait,
still
isn't-
continuing to.
Wait, isn't Jeffree Star the Leave Britney Alone person, or is that someone
No,
else?
that was someone else.
That's someone else, right?
bastard!
Didn't they come back?
Yeah,
They
they,
did.
they have their own YouTube
Yeah,
channel.
I thought that was Jeffree Star for
No,
some reason.
Jeffree Star's the big makeup guy. He was on MySpace years ago.
Ah,
He used to
MySpace.
be part
MySpace?
of the Blood on the Dance Floor.
Wait, he was part of
groups.
Blood on the Dance
No,
Floor?
but he used to tour with them.
Oh.
Yeah. It's so stupid. I'm just tired of all these creators making all of this money, having this huge platform, and they're pieces of shit.
Well, the
Don't get her
reality,
started.
unfortunately, is people can develop a large following. What they do with that following is sort of up to them. whether it be good or evil. I mean, they gotta think about it this way. Not everybody's gonna take their fame and do the best with it. Some
It's
people are
just
just gonna
awful.
drag down the world with them. It's just kind
I'm
of
just
how
tired
humans
of
are.
people like manipulating their audience.
It's kind of human nature,
It's just
unfortunately.
awful. I think it's just awful.
How's he manipulating his audience? I really don't know.
So, he everything that happened with James Charles last year, he lied. Him and someone else kind of lied and said that he was a predator, and those allegations aren't true. Or
Yeah, everybody's getting like
something.
Me Too right now, and I'm over
Yeah.
here just like, yo. I didn't know it.
Yeah, him and Shane Dawson came out with this whole palette, the conspiracy palette. No one's heard of this. Oh my god, I need to get a life after sitting down and talking.
I have absolutely. I only have about
this.
2% knowledge of what you're saying right now, but
Okay.
keep going.
They came out with this palette, and it was like Shane comes out with his docu-series. They're just vlogs. Okay, they're not a documentary. They are a vlog. He just puts all this stuff together, and it was about him making this makeup palette with Jeffree Star, and it was just a big marketing scheme. That's it. That's all it was. It was nothing like out of the heart. You know what I mean? And I was such a big fan of Shane, and then after that docu-series came out, I was like, I feel dirty watching this because it was all so fake. Like, you could see right through it. And he's like, oh my god, like, I can't believe we made this much money. Shane, you're a millionaire. You are already a millionaire. And he's like, I'm so poor.
Bruh.
He lives in a mansion.
Bruh.
So it's just like, I hate when creators manipulate their audience and then try to relate back to them when they can't. Like, you can't relate back to me because you live in a mansion. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe I'm a little salty. I don't know.
You gotta forget about this kind of stuff. It'll rot your
I
brain.
know. I really.
So I'm giving you old class advice right now.
I'm like stepping back. I have been like stepping back and I've realized during all of this that I feel like I need to research who I'm following.
Yeah.
Like I can't support any of these people
The
anymore.
only thing you can do about that is you could write a very angry email telling them everything you just told us.
It's just fuck
And
off.
they're gonna delete it, or they're
Yeah.
gonna do what Bruce Almighty, what Bruce did. Bruce Almighty delete when he was like. And then he, like, 'cause I'm sure he gets thinking a shitload of emails like delete. And yeah, he just deletes them like
Yeah,
bad
it's just
faces.
awful. Like I said,
So-
like that's just not something that we would ever do. But then
Yeah.
again, I have to remember that not everyone is like us. So, I mean, we've gotten shit before
For what?
because we don't pay our contributors.
Oh my god.
It's awful. Like, I have never been paid for a submission ever.
This was like our first troll.
This was like, and
Our
it was
first
scary.
troll.
It was honestly scary. We
Well,
were
someone
like,
got like pissed off that they were not.
yeah.
She-
You tell it.
Oh, it was a girl.
We had this
Yeah.
girl comment. And I
It's
think
awful.
it was honestly, yeah.
Honestly.
But I can't remember like the exact post, but it could have been something like about our new submissions, something like that.
I think it was submissions for the mini zine.
Got it. And she was like, hey, if I submit, like, is there a fee for submitting? And I was like, no, like, not at all, whatever. And I think she also thought, or what she actually meant was like, do you guys pay your contributors or something like that? And I was like, no, we're a 2-person team. Also, it's the middle of COVID. Like,
We don't have money.
thankfully,
to pay
I
you.
am employed, but like, I
Yeah.
still don't have money to just shell out
Car
to our
insurance.
contributors or anything like
Car
that,
insurance.
Yeah, we have stuff to pay for.
Phone bill.
And we also have guidelines that like go over everything that you need to know about.
Yeah, but they
submitting.
don't. People don't pay attention.
Yeah,
course.
of
Yeah,
course
people
they
just-
don't.
Of
I
course.
agree.
That is like, oh, it's so annoying. I hate that.
In section 5, it says no.
But she literally like freaked out on us, then like screenshotted our comments, put it in her Instagram story, and was
Bruh.
like, basically, fuck this magazine, like whatever else. Went on a huge tangent. Then we were freaking out because I was like, I don't know what to do. Plus, she also like commented, well, put it in her story and whatever else. And we found out, didn't she work for some publishing company or something like that?
She works for $2 Radio, and they're like an indie publisher, which is who I want to publish to. So I was just like freaking out a little bit.
Oh,
But
so she was kind of somebody.
I don't think she gets paid for what she does. She's a book reviewer for that company. Like, I don't think she's employed by them. I don't know what exactly that is. Like, I think maybe she is employed. I think maybe she reaches out to them and is like, I want to review this book that you just published, or maybe they send her the book.
She
I'm not
also
sure.
owns Poshmark or whatever.
Oh yeah,
What is
she
it?
owns a Poshmark, and I'm like, you're selling other people's clothes that they already made. You know what I mean? Like, do what you gotta do, but don't come back on us and being like, you're taking advantage of your contributors, you're manipulating them. Like, that's
Yeah.
not what we do.
So
at all.
then people also like reached out to her and was like, we don't get why you're saying this. And your uncle reached out to her
Yeah.
as well and was like, I don't understand why you're saying this.
And she was like, she screenshotted the message or something
Yeah.
and was like, this guy's mansplaining me. And I'm like, okay,
Uh,
please learn the term before you say it, because just don't throw it around. She's just that person who's like,
misogynist. Ah!
yeah.
So
Yeah.
what are you talking about?
we reached out to our friend as well, and he was like, this was like the 5th time that she's done this to a publication before. Turns out this bitch tried to create her own magazine with like one of her friends. No one submitted to it or even like took interest in it or anything like that.
She's just salty.
But yeah, I mean, she's definitely one of those people. I went onto her website and she has an About Me page that is written in like 7 different ways to work for like any type of writing that she needs. So she has one that's like an About Me if I was like a copywriter, and it's like a little blurb, and it's one that's like About Me if I wanted to do like long essays, and it's like 5 paragraphs instead of like 1. I don't know.
I hate her so much. If she's listening to this, fuck
She
you,
was
I
in
hate
like
you.
she's in like a writers guild too,
Yeah.
and I don't know, it was weird.
She's just a piece of shit, and it's like I said, I have never been paid for a submission ever. I've never been sent a free copy of a submission that I was included in, and I've explained this a billion times, but when you get paid for a submission, most of the time that publisher owns your work now.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't own your work. You can do whatever you want with it. You can publish it someplace else if they're going to accept a recently published piece. So that's why we don't pay them. 1, we don't have the money, and 2, we
If
don't
something
want
like
to
that
own your
happens,
work.
right? Like,
Yeah.
you can't just refund.
Yeah,
I like really tell people that they need to get their finances together before they go blowing their money on stupid stuff, or
Yeah.
or they like try to get into crazy amounts of debt and don't think twice about it. Like, oh, no problem, I'll put it on this credit card. I was like, you should probably thinking about what you're doing right now, because I think credit card debt is like modern slavery. So
Yeah,
I'm not
pretty
about
much.
that. So people don't
I'm
realize
definitely
how
not
much
about
money
that.
actually goes into this kind of stuff. Like even for this example, like the mics, the equipment, and then he has to put the money into the website to keep the website going. And if you're
Yeah.
not making enough at the moment to keep all that stuff going, you're in a tight little spot, and you can't just pay people to work for you like that. It just doesn't work like that. So it takes time, it takes persistence and determination to get into a spot where you one day, I think you probably will be in a spot where you will be able to pay contributors. But you gotta have more time and consistency, and they have to realize that one day, you're gonna get into a spot. Of course, keep up the grind. You will. The guy gotta hang tight. Because you're on the mission. It's not going away.
yeah, like we're just trying to help people out to get their work in another publication,
Yeah.
because when you submit to publishers and agents, they want to know where you've been submitted.
Yeah.
So we're just an additional place where you can put on your cover letter. That's it. We're not being
Yeah.
manipulative. We're not trying to steal your work. That is not about it. We're just trying to help you out.
Everybody's gonna get haters, but like the good news is that the people that they don't care about money or anything. They don't have other ambitions or any other like tasks. What they just want to be heard. I mean,
Yeah.
everyone in the world, no matter who you are, wants to be heard. Everyone has something they want to say. Probably afraid to say it because a lot of people just post these, they want to say it, but everyone has something to say. So for the people who do want to say something and feel like they could write something that can contribute positively to the magazine, they will. So you get the negative, maybe the haters, but you also get the people who really impact stuff, and that's what makes everything grow.
Yeah.
And
that was sorry to cut you off.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
This is your podcast, man. It's your time.
Thanks. But like the thing is too, like we created this magazine to be a safe space for anyone. So even if you don't really consider yourself a writer, but you submit a piece and at the end of the day, yes, if we think it's good enough, we'll gladly have you be a part of it. But we, wanted a safe space for people to write about whatever or talk about whatever. And we've had contributors send in pieces about their sexual assault experiences or childhood trauma. I written about queerness and my experiences
Yeah, I
with
was just gonna ask
sexual
you about
harassment too.
what kind of things do I was actually basically just gonna ask you that anyway. Like, what do people submit? Like, what kind of submissions do you get about what topics?
Well, yeah, like Pat said, we
This
get
is
some
an open mic. It's okay.
we get some really great ones. But most of the time,
Well, okay, so the thing is,
There's so
90% of probably what we get in is poetry.
Yeah.
And I have to be honest and say, since day one, that was not anything that I was wanting.
yeah, that we're not a poetry magazine.
So what would you say you are?
I would love nonfiction, personal
Yeah.
essay, conversation starting pieces.
And I guess we're a multimedia
And
magazine.
we kind of expanded into that now. So,
So
we
like
also
any
have
topics,
video.
pretty much.
Well, any kind of we come up with the topics and then we were like, hey, try to figure out write a piece on this or
So what would be an example of a topic that you would ask people to write about?
trauma.
Well, yeah. So basically, we have 4 main themes that we kind of use throughout the magazine. So it's identity, mental health, love, and community. Eventually, we kind of decided, all right, let's take these themes but actually put it to more of a centralized theme. So for our first issue, it was kind of still based in identity, but we called it the heart and mind. So there's pieces that were more based from an emotional standpoint, and were really kind of about love and embracing your identity and embracing femininity, for example. But we've also had this whole mind section that was more higher level thinking, more
Like what?
we had one contributor, his name Nathan Bacon, and they wrote a piece on trans identity,
Shout out to Nathan.
but he used Britney Spears songs to talk about it.
It was a really great piece.
It was probably
It's awesome.
when I read it, I was like, this is the piece that I have been waiting for this
Yeah.
magazine. It kind of
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was just great.
We could go on about it. But and kind of from there we continue that, and we've had a whole relationship and intimacy theme. We did one for Halloween that was on hauntings, but kind of, as Shemin said, taking it in more of a trauma-based experience.
What would you say is the most popular topic that you guys get submissions on, or people want to talk about?
Breakups, and we're
Breakups.
so
Oh my
sick of
God.
How
it.
interesting.
Wait till people check out our Soulmate podcast.
Breakups.
It's funny too, because when we were doing the relationship and intimacy one, we literally
That sounds like it's very popular but serious, more in-depth kind
Yeah.
of topic.
And the thing is too, we literally in our guidelines will give kind of questions kind of to spark these are ideas for pieces that we're looking for. And we also went ahead and basically created this whole inspiration guide of different pieces that we thought would work, different topics. So I personally was looking on stuff that talked about consent, talked about sexual wellness, sex more in it doesn't have to be so taboo. People shouldn't be scared about it. This is a normal thing that happens in life. So
I think I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Keep
no,
going.
it's all good. So I was gonna say I literally put an interview with a dominatrix in our
Dominatrix?
inspiration.
You have to clarify what that is. I actually don't know.
A woman who is usually dominant. Think of
Not when she with me, she ain't. I'll tell you that right now.
Dressed in the leather, has a whip.
I'll take that real quick. Just
Some guys are into that.
you gonna what to me?
I
What?
think Mike is into it. He's blushing over here.
What? Excuse me? Excuse me?
Shout
I'm
out.
joking.
I am not.
Mike will take that whip and. Yeah.
Excuse me?
I don't know.
What?
I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I don't know.
I ain't doing nothing.
Hey,
Where's the
live your
whiskey?
life, man. If that's what you're into, by all means.
So go on with
Maybe I
the
should have
story.
given
The
you that.
But
dominatrix.
no, yeah. So really trying to make sure we are getting away from the stereotypical breakup or what most people think about love. And I feel still probably 80% of those pieces were on breakups.
Yeah.
80%. Wow. Are they like people like my girlfriend dumped me? What do I do? Is it kind of like? Are they seeking advice or are they trying to give their experience?
Give their
or-
experience.
It's more,
Yeah.
giving their experience.
Are they asking for feedback on these things by any chance, or they just want to talk? They just want to tell.
They
Their
just
story.
want to tell. We don't.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do that.
I mean, we do. Some people have asked us
Yeah.
for feedback, which has been great. But for the most part, what also sucks is like we'll send the guidelines, and maybe like a minute later, someone will send the piece, and it has nothing to do with the theme or submission that we.
I think sometimes people
talked
just want to
about.
vent, and a great way to vent is to submit something like that. Like if they go to a breakup, can be like traumatizing for the mind, right? And trauma is one of your main
Yeah.
Yeah.
things. And a lot of people cannot handle a breakup. You know, it's just they can't do it, and it fucks up the whole point of view in the world, and they just want to talk about it. So I feel like that would give you a lot of submissions right there, which would make
Yeah.
sense to me.
I mean, what's funny too is like, kind of going off of that. Let's say if our theme was breakup, maybe, and let's say we got like 50 submissions, we'll have 5 that have nothing to do with breakups. It will be like, here's my experience writing about like me being at the ocean or like
Yeah.
swimming or
And it's
just
not like
something
Pat and
so
I like
weird.
toss it to the side. Like we'll actually go through it and be like, okay, how does
You wanna
this
take everybody's-
relate
Yeah.
back to
everybody's.
it?
We like to give people the
Yeah,
benefit
yeah,
of the doubt.
definitely.
And some people have literally said like, oh, this poem's actually about my experiences with like consent.
Yeah,
or
like Pat will email them back and be like, hey, can you explain how this relates back to the theme? We're really unsure. And then, yeah, they'll
So you
email
try to
us
get
back.
them to expand.
Yeah.
So what's this thing with consent? Tell me a little bit about that. What I don't like is like I don't know. I'm actually I really don't know.
What do you mean?
Like what do people talk about with that kind of stuff? Do they ask questions or do they give certain stories?
I think I was the only one that did a
Yeah,
consent.
you're
I'm asking
pretty
because
much
it
the
sounds
only
interesting, so I'm
one.
asking. It's just
I just basically talked about, I submitted a poem and I talked about when I was a kid and I had a friend who had a brother and he pushed me on the ground once and tried to kiss me. And I told Pat this story.
were
and
you
he's-
very young, like
Yeah,
6?
I was like 4.
Oh,
I
okay.
was really young. But he was like a year older, so it wasn't like
Yeah.
an old man.
Okay.
So I was telling
no.
Pat this story and I don't remember why we were talking about it.
Probably just talking about the themes or what we
Yeah,
wanted to write.
and he told me, he was like, Shanna, it kind of sounds like you were like assaulted, and I never thought of it that way, like ever. So then I just wrote this piece and I just talked about how, you know, I was a kid and I was too scared to tell my parents about what happened, which is so stupid because if something like that happens, why didn't I tell my parents? Because it really scared me. I don't know. That's,
Good question.
yeah.
Interesting childhood
The human mind does weird things, I think.
Yeah.
So like when you have like something like that could be like some sort of traumatic, like sometimes you keep it in. Certain people will like to keep as much in as they can, but certain people do the opposite. It's just a matter of which side of the coin you're on, I guess.
Yeah, sometimes the most traumatic stuff happens at like a very early age because it kind of like, you know, when you're young, your mind is like a sponge, so you absorb that. So if certain things happen when you're younger, your mind really absorbs that kind of stuff, and it just affects you in some sort of way. I'm not a brain psychologist, I don't fucking know, but I do know that it does have some kind of impact as you get older, you know? Like we all have those childhood experiences that like we just remember, we can never forget, you know?
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah,
I-
there was
Especially
a,
ghost stories. Like no one
Oh my God.
forgets their childhood ghost stories. Nobody. I think we talked
We've
about
already
that, right?
talked about that.
Yeah,
on
we've
here.
talked about those. We've talked about those. Those
Like
were cool.
men can talk about this.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think that experience has definitely like followed me throughout my life and I didn't even realize it. You know, just being scared of being intimate, you know what I mean? Just I don't know. Yeah, it was always in the back of my mind, I guess. Just very weird.
I remember going back to the being like the whole the trauma and shit. Where when I was a little kid, I was going to Florida with my parents. We drove and we had this huge van. I don't remember if anyone remembers my big van,
Yeah.
the big van. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we took that van to Florida and we were on the Jacksonville Bridge, and this bridge is like super long, and like it's just water all underneath. And so there was apparently, because I didn't remember this, there was a big big collision. So like car to car, like collision, and my dad was like driving like 80 or 90 miles an hour, and so he didn't notice that it was a huge like collision, so he turned the van real quick and hit the railing on the edge of the bridge. And we almost like the van almost fell off. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That's
And like I had to have
scary
been
as
like
hell.
2 or 3 at the time, and I don't remember much other than me just being in there like crying,
Oh my god.
and then
That's
getting
traumatic.
out and being with my uncle, because my uncle was actually driving in his truck behind us when all this happened, and so like I ended up going with him later. But for the longest time, I always thought that the bridge was collapsing, and I didn't know, because all I know is it was just a traumatic experience, and I thought that the bridge was collapsing. My dad was trying to get us out of that, but it was actually just because there was a huge collision. We almost fell over the thing. Then none of that I didn't know. But when I
is so
found out like a
scary.
year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I was like, "What? That happened?"
You could write a whole thing on that too.
Yeah, it's
you
crazy.
could.
Actually.
That's really scary.
Yeah,
Potential, Mike. Write that. Write that.
possibility I would not have been here if I flew, fell
Yeah.
over.
Oh,
Shit.
I have a similar story like that. Okay, we're gonna get off topic. Sorry, just I have a similar.
And here we
Here
go.
we go.
So my mom recently, and this is traumatic. This is traumatic. So I don't think I told you this.
Oh my god.
Wait, maybe I did tell you.
Between the double duo? Oh my gosh.
So,
man.
no, I think I did tell you because I told you I wanted to write a piece about it. You may have forgotten.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay because I never wrote the piece, so you're fine. So my mom recently told me. Sorry. Okay, so you guys know where I live. I'm behind my house.
I'm pretty sure we run past. your
I'm
house
pretty
every
sure
You
day.
guys run past my house every day. I see it in the video, and I'm like, "That's my house, guys."
Because we grinded.
But behind my house is the marshland.
Yeah.
So I was a baby, and my mom closed her eyes. I was outside in my little baby pool, just swimming with my floaties on. So my mom closed her eyes for like a second, and she opens them, and I'm gone. I'm a baby, and I'm gone. Okay, like I ran out of that yard, and you guys know what block I'm talking about. Like that block where it's just the marshland and you're running up and it's by Krausers.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was all the way over there. Like I could have fell into the marshland. Someone could have kidnapped me. That makes me think like I was like, oh my god, I wouldn't be here right now. It just really spooked me out. It made me think of exactly what you were just talking about. Like
Wow.
I wouldn't be here if my mom hadn't just beat the shit out of me. You know
Oh,
what
yeah.
I mean? So like,
I also have a
you
similar
kidding me?
story
Do you
like
really?
that. Yeah.
oh my wait, do you remember me telling you the story?
No, I don't though. I'm
That's
sorry.
so weird.
Sorry.
Maybe I didn't tell you. Maybe I told someone else. I feel so
Wow.
bad now.
No, it's fine. You don't have to tell
how
me
dare you.
everything, even though
How dare you not
whatever.
tell? How dare you? This is
Okay,
outrageous.
tell your story.
So I have a story. When I was young and still like sleeping in a crib, I somehow in like the middle of the night was able to get out of it. I walked downstairs, opened my front door, and ran out onto my lawn. And this
Are you
was
serious?
this was like maybe 3 a.m. in the morning or something like that. And I remember like calling for my parents, try to be like,
Hey guys, I don't know where I am right now. I don't know how to get back
like
in the
I need
house.
you guys or whatever. And I can't remember how long I was out there, like what I was doing, but my neighbor actually heard me, scoot me up, and brought me back to my parents.
Wow.
Oh my god, that's so scary. I mean, while your parents are just like dozing off, like, oh my god, you could have been kidnapped. You could have been ran over by a car.
I mean, it was 3 a.m. in the morning
Who
or so,
knows?
but who knows?
That is
But
so scary.
yeah,
Well,
it's
telling
wild.
these stories. And now I feel like I gotta say something. Okay, what is
Do you
I?
have a
story
similar story where you
time.
almost died?
When I almost
Where you
died.
could have
almost
died?
No, but I do
Gosh,
have something that I will never forget. I was in kindergarten, and
Do you know that story?
Probably. But continue.
I don't know. This just hit my head just now, so I'm gonna tell it anyway. I guess this is the most traumatizing thing I can think of at the moment. I was in kindergarten, and I really had to take a shit, and
I don't
teacher
like
wouldn't
where
let
this
me.
story's going.
This bitch would not let me take a shit. So I was like, "Hey, can I please?" She's like, "No, we have to wait until like you have to ring the bell when class." I was like, "What the?" So I ended up shitting like all over the floor, and you see like the shit drops all over fucking. And then she was like, "Oh my god, we gotta take him to the." And I was like, "I told you, you fucking wouldn't listen to me."
Ew!
Well, I was in kindergarten, okay? This is not like last year.
Wait,
It's
I
like
think we were in the
kindergarten.
same class. I
Probably.
don't recall that.
Good. This is good.
I don't remember that.
Forget
I
what
have
you've
a story.
seen.
I have a story in that class. I threw up on the floor, and
Everybody
I
was
didn't
like,
tell
"Yeah."
anyone. I didn't tell anyone.
Well, I think everyone knew they're shit on the floor.
No.
Do you remember?
Oh no.
And our teacher stepped in it.
Oh, good.
Beautiful.
Good. Good for
Do you
you.
remember when Phil threw up on me
Oh, how,
during
what-
like lunch one
Oh
day?
my god.
Ew.
You know,
And he has the nerve to be an asshole throughout high school.
Yo.
He's gonna just be like, bro.
Yeah, bro, he's gonna watch this and be like, bro. Shout out to you,
man.
I
Joe.
hate Joe. Fucking
Shout out to you, Joe.
Sorry.
Shout out. But I think
You threw up
I
on me.
vaguely remember that.
I
think
had to wear
vaguely
purple sweatpants that the nurse gave me for the entire rest of the day.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
That's the Adventures of
awful.
Strathmore School.
How old were you?
times. I don't know. This was probably like first.
Okay, okay.
First-
all right. I'm
Probably.
gonna let it slide.
Something like that.
I'm gonna let it slide.
I told them, and they wouldn't listen to me. You need to trust these kids when they try and tell you something. You gotta listen.
I would
Yeah.
have just ran out of the room.
We actually interviewed a porn star.
Oh yeah, that was a really great.
Her
post.
name
what
is
star?
a porn star.
Really?
It was
yeah, we're trying to do that too, actually.
single-handedly probably the greatest conversation.
It
Well,
was
what was that
fun.
like?
Besides Jackie's. So
Pat interviewed her, and I just listened, and I was like,
You
"This is
interviewed
really
her.
awesome."
Wait, was
I
it a
like,
video interview?
no, we should. I mean, we did it on Zoom, so I had the Zoom recording.
She's so cool. She's so cool.
Yeah,
We
her
gotta get-
name's
We
Chelsea
gotta get our hands on a
Poe.
porn star to interview, obviously.
She was just
good thing you
I
added
say
that.
these things to
It's
myself.
a good thing you added
She,
that part.
so she's a transgender porn star. Her name's Chelsea Blue. Not Chelsea Poe, not Jackie Blue.
Jackie Blue's one
is
of
a
our
poet.
students.
Yes. Sorry, Chelsea Poe. But she went into like all this fucking crazy like behind the scenes shit that she had to deal with. But basically, you know, you have to go on hormones when you're transitioning. But being a trans porn star, she was talking about how for the most part, trans women have to actually get off of their hormones just because the industry wants to like fetishize them even more. So basically, like, she talked about how she had to take all these pills that made her stay hard. She talked about like they were just given a bunch of random medication, had no idea what they were given.
It's disgusting.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it was insane. Super insightful though.
Yeah, she was just so cool. I love Chelsea. I could have talked to her
Yeah.
for like 10 hours. She was so cool. I don't know. I
feel
can't think
like
of anything else we've
kind of
gotten that's
it.
like super like we were like, oh my god. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Everything else has been pretty PG.
Yeah,
PG-13.
it's pretty mild.
Yeah, it's pretty mild. But yeah, those are the two pieces where we were like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
I feel like doing that like really shows like it really shows their character. I feel like because like they're just willing to put it out there, and I feel like that's really good of them.
Yeah, and we were so grateful that they trusted us to
Yeah. I feel like
share
that.
it with us.
I feel like
And
that's also a really
she-
good thing, like trust.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jackie was also like one of the first people to submit to us too. And then on top of that, like submitting a piece like that to a completely new magazine. Yeah, we were definitely super thankful.
I can't think of anyone else though where we were like,
Well, yeah, we had Jen's piece, but I don't feel like it was more like breakup, but more like
Oh,
I
that
went
was a
through a
beautiful
really
piece,
shitty
yeah.
relationship.
Who
then
submits
healed
more
from
about
this.
breakups, guys or girls?
girls, I think.
I was gonna say guys.
Really?
Yeah. Okay,
That's a
so the thing
demographic.
is, we get more content from females, but I feel like for the most part,
Whenever a guy submits, it's mostly,
usually about a breakup,
Yeah.
and it's usually like this girl is a fucking bitch,
yeah.
which is like, come on now, come on now.
Yeah.
Well,
Let's
from
be
like,
real
yeah,
here.
well, like from what I see, I think guys get dumped more than girls. I think. I do believe I saw stats backing that up. But
I think it depends.
on what?
Well, on the situation.
On the
I'm
situation.
Definitely, but-
Interesting conversation here. You gotta vote with me. I'm trying to create some interesting conversation here.
I don't know. I feel like I see. So when it comes to my friends, the guys always break up with the girl.
Well, like your friend group?
Yeah,
Or-
like my friend group. Like,
Never mind, I'm not gonna say it.
oh, we're gonna be here for hours
yeah.
if you do.
We got time. Let's go.
No,
We should
I'm in a good
probably not
place.
address
I'm
it.
in a-
God forbid
I'm
if
in-
she watched this.
I'm in
You
a
don't
good
have to- you don't
place.
have to mention
I
their
actually
names or
mentioned it
anything.
on the first podcast, but not like I
You
didn't
don't
get
have to like
heavily into
mention.
it.
You don't have to mention names. You just mention like the story
Yeah.
itself. It's fine. You don't have
Okay.
to mention names.
I had a friend who dated a piece of shit.
Still is quite possibly
Yeah. Who knows?
hooking up, dating, fucking.
I really hope not.
whatever.
I really hope she's in a better place to not be doing that because it's a piece of shit. I'm in a better place now, whatever. It doesn't matter. But he broke up with her. And he really destroyed her.
They
the
were
breakup
dating for a while?
destroyed. Yeah, 2 years.
Pretty sure he was cheating on her
think
during
yeah.
this point too.
But yeah, like every time I've seen a breakup, it's always the guy that breaks up with the girl. So like I think what Mike said, like it depends on the situation, I guess, and the person. I don't know. But what about your friend group? What is it like?
Just go, Mike, before I say something.
Well, for me,
we have the same friend group.
Let's
Just
see.
whatever you
Well,
want.
for me, I'm gonna just go with me. I broke up with my last girlfriend.
Is this the one that you were telling me about that was a piece of shit?
Of course.
Okay, good. Okay, got it.
I did
Okay.
it.
We don't like her. We hate you.
I did it. That was
God.
great. It was a great time
Good
that
for
I did
you.
that.
Good for
but
you,
well, the trauma I had after that was not really fun. But doing it
I'm
was
gonna
great.
piss off so many people
Doing
with
it was
this
great.
podcast.
No, yeah, seriously, we really are.
Sorry, guys.
Whatever.
We've had our deals of women breaking up with us over our friends. We've had our deal with us breaking up
Wait,
with
go
them.
back to that. I'm sorry. You've had women break up
up
with you guys because of your friends.
No. Just like we've had where women would break up with like us, or we would break up with them.
Oh,
like
okay.
depending on the person, depending on the situation.
Yeah.
You know, we've had our fair share of back and forth. But mostly, I feel like it's mostly because a lot of us have no clue what the fuck we're doing. That it's mostly the women that are breaking up with us. But, you know, some of us actually know what the hell we're doing. So, you know, and if we know that it's not going anywhere or it's not going right, that we know to end it.
Well, the truth is, a lot of relationships kind of are not meant to be. I'm sorry. Like a lot of people just don't. They want to make it work. I get it, but sometimes not. Some people are just not the right match for someone, and it's really hard to realize that. And people have a scarcity mindset as well, so they think that if they lose their boyfriend or girlfriend, they'll never find anybody else. And it's due to that scarcity that people end up in unhappy marriages because they think, well, I'm married for 5 years, might as well just keep going because it's too late to back down now. And that's the wrong mentality to go down because you're going to go down a lot of years of pain.
Yes,
like that.
and torture.
Yeah, like, even though we aren't friends anymore, I do really hope that she's okay. Because even Pat knows, like, it was rough. It was really rough. And I just hope, like, he's out of her life and she's not giving him the time of day because she doesn't deserve it. But yeah, like, I hope she's okay.
What do you think? What is your opinions? What's all your thoughts?
I've dated some very fucking shitty people.
I've never met any of them. I just have heard stories. And they're shitty people.
What's the shittiest thing that's happened?
Oh my god.
Where do I begin?
Oh my God.
I would say
Where
it
do I
definitely
begin?
depends on the situation, but I've been cheated on before
Same.
where the guy was actually roommates with his ex-boyfriend, which I totally like could have seen this coming, but he told me on Valentine's Day.
Great.
Oh,
Great.
perfect.
I guess you didn't get
Okay.
flowers that day, did you?
Ooh,
What an
not get
asshole.
shit. I also paid for dinner and he did not give me money for it.
That
I'm a little
sucks.
salty.
I would be salty too.
I mean, I feel like for the most part that was probably the worst, but I've also had like I've definitely dated people that were just, I would say, flat out insane.
Haven't we all?
Yeah, haven't we all?
If they're not insane in the beginning, they're insane towards the end.
Yeah. I dated a guy that actually ran for town council of Old Bridge
Really?
when he was
Oh,
18.
you didn't tell me that? Wait, did you tell me that?
Probably.
Oh, it sounds
secrets, so
familiar.
many
Probably.
secrets.
It sounds familiar.
He basically was like, I don't like when we're out in public, I don't want you to wear like anything that you're comfortable wearing. I want you to look so masculine or like so fucking straight that no one gets that we're dating. But then he'll also like tell me that he loves me, you know? So it's kind of one of those things that's like, you know, I can't love you for the person that you actually are and the person that you feel comfortable with. I'm going to love the person that like I'm trying to turn you into kind of thing.
Yeah, he's a prick. So, like,
He is indeed a prick, Kyler. If you ever fucking watch this,
We're
Go
gonna
die.
piss off the world today.
so
Let's
Go
just piss
jump
off
into
everyone.
a
It's
lake.
great.
no, but like
I like it.
going back to the submissions, it's not that we don't like or appreciate getting the breakup pieces. It's just that because we especially get them in poetry, it's just that it's overdone. Like if you buy a
Because it
poetry,
happens all the time.
if you buy a poetry book, it's usually
Just that.
just that. So we want to,
I understand.
explore other themes, other options, and things like that. So it's not that we hate it. We
want to expand.
We want to expand.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Just wanted to put that disclaimer out.
I just think that those are the most. A lot of people don't want to talk about like those kind of concepts in person, and a lot of people are afraid, quite honestly, to even talk about with their friends with that kind of stuff because they feel like they have to keep it to themselves, which creates anxiety in their own heads because they have no one. They think they have no one to talk to. So when that stuff builds up over time, you just end up like inside your head, right? So I think that's why you get so much submissions dealing with that kind of topics because people don't want to talk about it, which is why we have our certain podcasts and videos that we talk about this kind of stuff because if we don't,
No one will.
exactly,
Well, I'd
it takes a
also like
certain
to-
platform
sorry.
to get. Oh, no.
No,
I was
go,
gonna
go.
say
I cut you
that
off.
it takes a certain platform to make people feel comfortable enough to tell you about their kind of stuff. So I no matter what that people submit, as long as they're submitting something that they feel like they have to say, because even if you write something down, it's better to get it off your chest and at least like if you're not going to tell anyone, at least write it down. Or if you don't want to write and be a little prick, just type it on your iPad, okay?
I agree.
It's always good to get it out on somewhere because it releases. I don't know. I'm not like woo magical thinking kind of guy, but like. You need to get it out of your subconscious into the world. That way, in any way. Even I don't care if you want to write, get a piece of chalk and write it on your front lawn. I don't care. But it's better that you get it out of your head. Just let it out.
Yeah.
Put it somewhere.
Like,
So
I think something I'd really like to start seeing in the magazine is pieces that kind of dive into difficult relationships with family. I feel like that's something we don't really talk about.
not at all. Yeah.
So I feel like that's something I'd like to see a lot more than just romantic relationships. But
Well, like there's like a pandemic of people not growing up with like both parents in the household. So there's that, and there's even like studies and stuff like people who grow up with single parent households like develop more problems, and it affects them in their work life, personal life, in every aspect of life. Like I know there's like a lot of single parents right now, like a lot. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy. Like no one likes admitting this, but it's true.
well, I think we talked about this last time I was on here with Alex, is that people aren't getting married to get married. It's more like the wedding.
There's also like
Yeah.
there's also studies that say there's like a high percentage of children being born out of wedlock right now. So there's just like not a lot of two-parent household, and that could be damaging. I think everybody needs, a true mom and dad. Adopted or not, doesn't matter. You want that. You want those two powerful parents. Because children are best raised with two. What's the word I'm looking for? Sexual polarity parents, right?
Yeah, exactly. And also there's also that there's also a study where children that have like a parent and a step parent that they're also going to have issues depending on which side of,
Yeah.
like if it's like a stepfather, like if it's a female, like a daughter and they have a stepfather, like they'll have problems, or vice versa on the other sex. I've also seen studies where they have problems like that too, because like it's not their biological parent that they'll have
specific
issues because biologically like they don't connect like how
Yeah,
their biological
and this is
parents
not
do.
even me talking crap. This is just true. There's a study that was like stepdads are like eight times as likely to kill their stepchildren as compared to biological parents. Like this is an actual study. Like I'm not just pulling this out of my ass. It's actually true. It's unfortunate, but it's like it's crazy. Think about the 8 times more likely to kill. And like when you see those news stories about like the stepdad who went crazy, and shit, it's real. You're not gonna see it on the news because all the politics that's going on right now. But that stuff does happen. So I can understand why people would want to submit story, like their perspectives on that, just to get it out, just to tell somebody about it, hope that somebody reads it and they reach out to them and they can have a good discussion about it. 'Cause that's what we want, a discussion based on our own experiences, that we can let our emotions out, let our stories out to be heard. As I mentioned before, everybody wants to be heard. And as I said, your platform is a good way to do that, right?
Thank you.
Yeah, because I feel like writing is a good way, like to just puke out all of your emotions in any
yeah,
way,
exactly.
like whatever
Well,
you have.
In a way, you're helping people because you're
Yeah.
allowing them. Take money completely out of the equation. It's not about money. It's about. I would maybe would go back to more of the mental health kind of stuff because just creating a platform that lets people put out their thoughts is very powerful indeed. It's more powerful than you think. Cannot be underestimated, especially these days. The power of the internet. Now with the internet, everyone wants to be heard with everything. Go look at the amount of people on TikTok that's constantly expressing themselves, and Twitter. Don't ever go and stay off Twitter. Dangerous. danger.
That's a dangerous.
I'd rather people submit to your
Awful.
thing than post stupid tweets on Twitter.
Oh my god.
But everyone now realizes with the internet that they can be heard. So we have to figure out what's going to happen now with that. So with stuff like what you guys are doing, that's just yet another way for people to express their thoughts on certain topics, whether it be anything.
Yeah.
Anything you want to
Yeah.
expand on. It's a good way to get people to unleash what they got. That way, I think, it'll probably be a lot better for people's insanities if they're able to just submit something. You read it, and they know that you're reading it. So it makes them feel good automatically to know that they're being heard. So if you publish something that someone wrote, they're automatically getting this dopamine level because, like, oh, people are reading this. Even if people are not, at least people at least think that, okay, at least my stuff's out there, so people have the potential to read it. So that's very powerful in itself.
Yeah. I mean, again, like at the bottom, I'm sorry. Again, at the end of the day, which is what I was trying to say, like that was the original idea for this publication and this magazine was, again, to create a safe space for people to contribute work, start these conversations, and to kind of go off of what you said too. We actually had Joey's pieces that also talked about her experiences with sexual assault. But her piece actually became the most top read piece of our magazine, and it's still like
Good.
number
Yeah,
one.
she deserves it.
I was gonna ask you that too. So the most read article, I'm gonna call it. Is it fair to say?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it was an essay, but whatever.
It's like a
But like the
personal
most
story.
read essay, I guess I'll call it then, was the sexual assault one.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Without like giving away any names, is like what was it like? Did it go into like what happened as like a child, or was it like
It was like, here's my experience before it, during, and after. And it was a pretty short essay, but she actually went through, I believe, sexual assault 3 times. So it was something that she dealt with I'm kind of blanking on what I was going to say, but she,
like it happened like throughout years?
I think so, and at the same place.
I think she was in college, right?
Yeah, she was in college, but she also created photo series to go with the piece, and I think that also was something that really helped kind of solidify kind of what she was writing about.
Did she ever report it, or was it like just something that she felt like she couldn't talk about?
She
or?
had to fill out the title.
Oh, yeah, okay.
9
I think so, yeah.
or something like that.
I can't remember.
What it is. But yeah, I think like she reported it to the school, and they made her do all this reporting and go through law, basically.
Now I'm thinking of Faith's piece. Was Faith's piece fictional? The skull?
Yeah, usually I think so.
She writes creative.
Yeah.
Okay, creative fiction. Okay, because that piece was that's one of my favorite pieces that we've ever gotten in. And I don't even think we got that one in. I was helping Pat with the previous magazine that he was working with Vivi, and I remembered that piece, and I was like, Pat, can you please reach out to Faith and ask her for that piece, because it's like, I always think about it. She's one of my favorites. Like, I just love that piece. So Faith, if you're listening, shout out. But she wrote this piece about her girlfriend being murdered.
Yeah.
But I think it was like creative fiction. But oh my god, it was just, that one like really blew me away. That will always be one of my favorite submissions that we've ever gotten.
What was I gonna say? Shit. Your whole platform I feel like is very unique and is very helpful, at least for like especially up and coming like writers who really want to try to get their stuff out there, because like how you guys were saying before, you don't pay anybody, but like it's a good way to get like a name like on your cover letters and
This
stuff.
is how you start stuff.
Yeah.
Like, we're not getting paid to do YouTube right now. We're not getting like I don't think
no,
we're like getting anything.
not from YouTube at least.
But everyone has to start somewhere, and just because
Yeah.
you're not making money now doesn't mean
Yeah.
that if you stay consistent, stay on the grind, and stay on your on your passion, and just don't give up on it, it will come. If you build it, they will come.
I agree. I think people, like you said, people just give up too easily.
But if you give up, then it's definitely not going to happen. So why not just keep going and just keep allowing people to submit something, and one day you never know who's watching. That's what I take it as. Like with this, you never know who's going to stumble upon a video and be like, these guys make a lot of sense.
I think the same thing all the time.
Yeah. I mean, we've had some really great luck too with people that we interviewed. I interviewed this woman. Her name's Amy Van Duren. She's a matchmaker in New York. She owns
Matchmaker?
this. Yeah, she's a matchmaker in New York. She owns this company called Modern Love Club, and she was interviewed by Vogue, Cosmopolitan, like all these really high-end, like well-known magazines. And I reached out to her one day and was like, hey, do you want to get interviewed for my magazine?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Like,
It's awesome. I couldn't believe that he got the interview.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that I doubted him, but I was like, oh my God, we're interviewing someone that was in Vogue.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
And I just made it like, I sent her an email, made it super personal. I was like, I've been kind of following you for a year or so now. Like, I've watched some videos that you've done, and I really like what you've talked about and your life's philosophy and just everything else. And she wrote back and was like, yeah, I would love to do this
her interview was
interview.
really good.
And she like set up a whole Zoom meeting with me, and we did it, and we released it in our most recent mini zine. But I never like thought we would ever get her. I was super
mean,
super
yeah.
thankful.
It's
It's kind of
for
like a
it.
victory in itself, right?
Yeah.
And can I talk about the workshops?
Yeah.
We had some. Well, my uncle and my soon-to-be aunt. Hi guys. They go to this like, I don't know what to call it. Like, it's called With Intentions.
Yeah, it's like yoga, Reiki, but
Reiki,
also an art
healing.
studio.
Yeah, it's all this other
like
stuff.
community gathering place.
That's the perfect way to put it. It's like where the community gathers and you guys just have a really great time. I've been there a couple times. And when you go, it's just so welcoming. Like, there's no bad energy. Everyone's so positive and you feel so welcome. It's really nice. I've never experienced that before in a place. So it's just really great. So my uncle was telling them about our magazine, and they reached out to us and they were like, hey, would you be interested in like collaborating and working with us? So Pat and I are going to be actually doing workshops over there. So like,
That's really
we
awesome.
got workshops. Isn't that awesome? And I think we do get paid for them,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
Which is
Money's
great.
not everything, but it's
But, like, it
nice
does
to
help.
it does help, and it's nice that we're getting, paid
No,
for
that's-
our services.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so we're really, really excited about that.
Yeah, we're doing that. We're still like trying to figure out exactly how to work it out, but we're trying to do an exhibition with them where we have contributors or just people in the community kind of write like a little 15-word or so poem, and we're hoping to kind of like attach it into one giant piece like under a common theme. So we're working on that. We're trying to do like panel discussions there too, and get people to kind of do like live interviews and create a discussion out of that.
Yeah, like we just want to bring our contributors in, give back to them as well. And hopefully we can do like a Zoom call with them while we're there, and then they can just share their piece. But yeah, that's in the works, and we're like really, really excited for it. Like, I can't believe it. I'm a little nervous to be in front of people, but like I know that
It'll be fine.
I'll be fine. Yeah, but yeah, it's just nice to be noticed and have people actually want to work with us.
A life lesson is that you can't be afraid to reach out to people, whether you think they might reject you or not, because a lot of people have like good ideas, or they want to get something started, or they want to do an interview, they want to get a perspective from someone on some topic, but they're afraid to reach out. They're afraid that if they reach out, either they're not going to get a reply, or they're going to just get flat out rejected, be like, oh, I don't want to talk to you, fuck, but I think no matter what, if you have a good idea or something you want to talk about, I think it's very important that you feel the, confidence to reach out to someone if you have an idea, and if they reciprocate, great. And if they don't, okay, fine. You just talk to somebody else.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
if people really, really reached out to the people they really wanted to, there's a lot of missing opportunities that could be filled like that. Like, imagine if you never had the guts to reach out to the person that, you really, what was her name?
Amy Van Duren.
Like, what if you didn't have
Yeah.
like, oh, she's just gonna not answer me? What's the point of even? She probably gets like 1,000 emails a day. Why should I even message her? But you did, and you
Yeah.
got a reply. You end up getting an interview. So it's that mindset right there. It's very important to have. It's that you should go for the things you want to get anyway, no matter what the cost, because you never know how it's going to turn out.
Yeah. It's actually really funny because I know both of you know him, but if you've been paying attention to Instagram, our good friend Sid from high school, he remember how we put out a video about this. He wasn't like the most fit person. He wasn't the most confident person. But in the last like 100 so days, this man has ran every single day,
It's like
good for
just like
him.
us.
Damn, Sid.
worked out,
Awesome.
and he's lost like a lot of weight, and he was looking really good, very confident. And so like we were actually here doing aquatics, and we saw this, and it triggered Andrew to be like, we're doing a video right now. So like we did like a video talking about him and like how like that we love that his mindset, and that we told him to keep it up and stuff, and that he pretty much put out that he's gonna get a 6-pack.
It's gonna happen.
He's working
Listen,
on it.
It's not easy. Okay? I'm gonna have to do a lot of fasting. Okay, but it's gonna happen. I will get my
And
abs.
we actually reached out to Sid, so like we told him like, hey, we want to get you on like our podcast to talk about your success, because we have like a smaller version of the podcast for success stories. Talk about like we put out one of us each, and we're gonna have a couple more, but we definitely want to get him on. But he wants to do it through Zoom, so I have to figure that out. I need to learn how to do that. But yeah, no, but like just seeing Sid be able to do that, it just shows me that anyone can do it. It's really
good for
motivating,
him.
very
That's
inspirational.
awesome.
I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
that's the man right there.
It's only impossible until you make it possible.
Yeah.
That's the truth about life. Got to do the work.
You have to do the work, because if you don't do the work, then you're never going to do anything. You're never going to succumb to anything if you don't put in the work that you want to do. If you have a mindset and you have a vision, you have to put the work in, or else nothing will ever come of it, and it'll just be in your mind, and it'll never
Exactly.
It'll never
It's like, what if you
into
woke up one
fruition.
day and was like, wow, I'm not where I want to be right now. I don't want to do any more work on this magazine. No, just forget it. Like, what if you just gave up like that? That would be extremely horrible. Like, you
Yeah.
have to always keep going, and you never know what's going to happen next. You got the workshops coming up. Like, great things will come if you put in the work. You have to do the work. That goes out to everybody listening. You need to do the work. There's no cheat codes. There's no cheat codes to anything.
There are no cheat codes.
Yeah.
You are
ever.
the cheat code. You're the only possible way that you'll win.
Yeah, unfortunately, Pat and I were not trust fund kids, so nothing is gonna fall in our lap. Wait, are you?
Jawbreaker.
Oh, I thought he was about to tell me. I actually do have a trust fund. But
yeah.
yeah,
Secretly a million.
like
Sorry, Shman.
nothing's gonna fall in our lap. Nothing's
never
gonna be
does.
handed
No.
to us.
Never does.
Yeah.
So we know that we have to put in the work.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I feel like with that being said too, like we're definitely extremely thankful for the people that do follow us and for
Yeah.
the people that we've been in touch with, because as Shemin said before, like we've made really awesome relationships with people. And we talked about before our friend George, and we met him through the magazine, and
And you never know who you're going to meet next either. That's the best
Yeah.
part about it. That the
And-
journey never ends. So
Yeah.
you never know.
but just like the support that we've been getting from our support contributors and our followers really has also helped kind of
Yeah.
feel this even further.
Like we worry about the numbers and stuff, but at the end of the day, like we wouldn't trade our followers for anything
Yeah.
ever.
There's also has been a couple of magazines that reach out to us and we're like, hey, do
Really?
you want to be in this like follower train, and do you want to like contribute to this like pay for followers kind of bullshit?
No.
And these were like magazines that Shemin and I have followed or have
submitted
like
to.
submitted to, and that like really pissed us off because
Well, what do they do? They
do you remember like on Tumblr you would have those like you would send like a list of followers and you would follow them to also
Yeah.
gain more followers or
It's-
so
something
they
like
wanted
that, like a
money
follower
and they would give you
train.
followers.
I think
Well, it was like two options. So you could like be in this follower train and you have to like follow the list of people, but you would also gain those followers, or like, hey, do you want to pool in money together to pay for followers and it'll be distributed amongst the
I feel like that's not
Instagrams?
authentic, is it?
no, it's not.
No.
Like you're not gaining a genuine
See,
audience.
that's a cheat code once
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
and there are no cheat codes.
See,
so many people do it.
Yeah, I work for a company that I am the social media manager for, and we have right now 32.5 thousand followers or something like that, but we also paid for them. And we finally decided to stop doing that, and our numbers have gone down. But I have to report on our Instagram account, and I think our engagement rate is a 0.01, and the industry average is a 0.5. But we probably have at max like 12 people liking our photos out of the 32 or so thousand followers that we have. Yeah.
Well, that's a lesson. Don't buy your followers because you're not going to get anything out of it.
You get screwed either way. You
You're
just
screwed
get all
anyway.
money.
Yeah, that's it.
You got to be the only way to get a following, I believe, is to be just, you have to be authentic.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
have
genuine,
to just be
authentic.
honest. Yeah, like I just come straight up to the camera like, yo, listen, I'm not like Mr. Supermodel here with like six pack, like, hey.
Do you still look good though?
But it's like, I'm not gonna go. I can't pretend to be someone I'm not. You know, like I'm a student of life. I don't go on like YouTube like I'm a master of keto. I know everything that you don't.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm a student of life, and I'll always be. We all of us will always be student of life. Life. So I think if you're authentic and you just say, hey, this is me. This is what I've learned. This is what I've come from so far, and I'm gonna make my dent in the universe. You want to join me or no?
Agreed.
I like that.
I feel like we also had the followers that we have because we are being extremely transparent and extremely open about like what's going on and our skills and even what's going on in like our personal lives.
Yeah.
I like had an entire like month of just like mental breakdown. After,
It does
mental
happen. Listen,
breakdown.
it happens to
After,
everybody.
like, panic attack.
Whether you show it or not, everyone has the journey's not exactly the easiest fun ride ever. But especially with the thing with the internet, as big as it's gotten, you can't be a fake anymore. People will scope you out like that. Like
Agreed.
people can spot a fake easily on the internet now. Like people could tell. We have this instinct to tell when people's being fake or inauthentic. We could tell. And then when we find out that they're phonies, we lose complete respect and we're going to not follow them anyway. So best thing you could do is be authentic and at least be honest with your audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't lie to my audience, be like, oh, I already have a six pack, and then just like only show like footage from like the top up. Like you don't need to worry. Don't I have it? Trust me. Like you have to be authentic. Otherwise, your audience is gonna betray you eventually if you're not authentic. If you're fake.
Yeah, I
we've
never
seen that from time to time again.
I never really saw the point in not being your real self. Like, not
Well,
sure.
it's a once again cheat code, right?
Yeah, it's a
you want to
cheat
pretend
code.
you're this big hot shot, and when you're really not, and then when the audience discovers you're not, you're gonna get it. You're gonna lose all your business. Like,
I'd rather
that's-
just put the hard work in because
because it will pay off
It pays
if you
off.
if you put in the work and do the
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
and it has paid off. It really has,
Yeah.
honestly. Like, what more could we, yeah, of course we want an office. Of course we would love to get paid for it. We'd love to pay our contributors, but right now, like, in bookstores, yeah, and it's just, that's not where we're at right now, and we've accepted that, and we're just moving on.
But you're trying to get better.
Yeah.
That's the journey right
But
there.
yeah, again, like going back to what I was saying before, like I am extremely grateful for the followers that we do have because I was gonna say like I made personal posts on our account saying like, guys, look, I have had a fucking terrible week. Like this is what's going on with my life. I apologize for not being on here or like not sharing people's stories, but I just need a break. And I've literally had followers reach out and be like, don't even worry about it. Like we get that you work really
Yeah,
hard.
it's
Like
nice.
you're working full time. You're doing the magazine. You have a personal life. Like take the break that you need. Like we understand. We're not upset or whatever. And to me, like I wouldn't trade that for anything else. You know.
100 followers are a lot more powerful than 100K fake followers. You know.
Yeah,
Agreed, yeah.
definitely.
You know, if you get 100 loyal people, the thing about it's 100. Even if you can get 100 people reading your stuff, that's pretty big ass classroom.
Yeah, I just had this
Like-
discussion. I just had this discussion with George. We were talking about how like I got 100 likes on one of my posts, and okay, that's 100 people. If they're all, maybe they're just reading like half of it or not even any of it, but still, that's 100 people that paid attention to my post. That's a lot of people.
It is. I mean, think about a room full of 100 people. That's a crazy amount of noise right there.
Exactly.
You know?
Like I don't need the 10K like followers or the 20K. Like, do I want it? Of course.
Who doesn't want attention from thousands and thousands of
Exactly.
followers? But to have loyal followers is a lot more powerful.
Yeah, definitely.
People who like really like legit pay attention to your stuff.
Yeah, and I know it's always going to be those same people that like reach out to us or like our posts or comment on our posts, and it means everything. It means everything. Like I can count on those people. You know, I know that they're going to be there to support us. So yeah, I would not trade it. Please do not do the follow for follow or buy followers. I don't understand what you're doing because you're not getting anywhere. Because when you release something, are those 20K gonna buy your product if you're just buying followers? They're not even paying attention to you.
You know.
So you're not gaining anything out of it. You're just wasting money.
You know, you can't, especially if you're trying to sell things. Like you can't try to buy these followers, especially because you're already spending more money. You know, so like you're just spending that money to not even getting the amount that you want of people to buy it. Where if you just put in the work to build a community of people that are loyal to you, and then put something out, then those people, like if they're really loyal and they really want to purchase whatever you're buying, they will buy it. And that's what, that's what we all have to do, especially like even on our end, on your end, like that's just how it is. Like you need to build a community. Like we have our community on the Facebook page. A lot of people will post, their what they're doing. Like
stuff. I love it. Yeah.
One of my good friends, his fiance, put up there recently that she had lost 110 pounds, and I'd say I'm like that's like really good. That's
awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And then everyone, and then I love posting my nice meals of my big steaks.
Yeah.
Be like, perfect.
And I'm always posting my keto products that I get in the mail. Like, oh, look at these cool macronutrients. Everybody's like, okay.
No, like I appreciate like what you guys post. Like sometimes I want to post in there and be
You
like,
should.
I
went for a walk today. Why not?
I just get nervous. I don't know why.
Stop it.
I know.
Stop getting nervous.
Stop.
Like I guess I know a lot of people that are in the group.
Yeah,
so I
so
don't
you might
know
as
why
well.
I would think that they
Yeah.
would judge me. I don't know, but
Stop
yeah,
it.
I think
No,
it's
they're not,
great.
No judging you. If anything, they're praising you.
Yeah.
I like that you guys did like your own little group on Facebook. I think it's great. I think it's awesome.
It was Andrew's idea. I give all the praise to Andrew on this one.
Great job.
I was just
Good
like,
job.
I was just like, well, what? How can we? My goal
Yeah.
right now is expansion. How
Yeah.
can we reach more people and motivate these motherfuckers to
Well,
get
'cause you
outside
can
and do
post
something?
and like I feel like it's easier to have a conversation on Facebook than it is on Instagram.
Yeah, I would say it
You know
is.
what I mean?
More people have Facebook. There's just
Yeah,
statistics.
exactly. Maybe we should think of doing that. It's just
a good
something to
idea.
think about.
Well, I
fun.
thought of the Facebook one because I follow people that motivate me, and they have Facebook groups to them, and I was like, why am I not doing this?
Yeah.
What the like everybody's always on Facebook
Yeah, so
looking at
this-
statuses. I was like, why not use Facebook at least for a good cause and not just like
Yeah, so this man invited me to the page, and I was like, oh, this is a thing now. I
yeah,
guess.
I
so,
just
like,
made it. One day I just made it, and I was like, okay. Let's
So
go.
then from there we just went on it, and our friend Nick was really nice of him to make that banner, banner of us running.
That's
That
really
was a really
nice.
good one. And and then that's just how that started, and then you just got to keep building community.
Yeah. No, I think what you guys are doing is great.
As I
That's
say,
awesome.
if you build it, they will come. Consistency.
Yeah,
is
so
your
I say
friend.
definitely do that Facebook. I think it's.
I'll post stuff like, I don't know if that makes you feel better. I'll post.
No, like
random thoughts
well,
of the
now
day.
that you guys gave me the okay, I'm gonna post
You
because I have
should.
questions. I have questions.
We have
about,
answers.
Like,
Oh,
what
yeah,
I
we
wanna
have
do,
answers.
You know, like
We have a lot of answers.
maybe this is TMI, but it's like I'm a woman and I get my period and like I get cravings. What do I eat
Not sugar.
Not sugar.
I can answer that
during
right
that
now.
time?
Okay.
You know what I mean? So like, but I don't know. I feel like nervous sometimes to ask questions.
No,
but
no.
I don't know why.
Just like your audience, you need to not be afraid to put your input on, put your dent in the universe, put your ideas out there, no matter what they may be. Someone has a similar mindset and they will respond, and you'll feel even better once you put that out there. Like, wow, I did it. There comes a certain dopamine response when you put your ideas out there and people respond. Like something, even I get a little happy when I post what I'm eating and I get the likes. I was like, oh wow, people are looking at. Oh,
That's
this is
so
cool.
cute.
People are looking at my protein shake. Cool. Now eat it and stop eating freaking cookies and bread.
No, but it'd be great. Because it would be great for you to like put your whole I'm getting my what cravings I'm getting cravings you get
What kind of
probably
idea-
get like you probably get like 15
get a couple
girls
comments, yeah.
on
Yeah.
like commenting be like, listen queen,
Girl,
I do this, try this out,
Because
or
my
do
craving
this.
is always potato chips.
Well, you need to stop that
You need-
immediately.
yeah, you need to stop that immediately.
Never eat
Stomp it on the ground.
I'll hard to say. You should never eat that again.
I
ever.
know.
Throw it on the ground, stomp it out real quick. And then,
Yeah, throw it on the ground, stop on it, and never think about it again. And then.
do you like ice cream?
I do like ice cream a lot.
Okay, so there's this keto ice cream that
Okay.
I eat. It's really good.
Okay.
It's called Rebel.
Okay.
It's in ShopRite.
Okay.
And they have like a whole bunch of different
Okay, I'm hooked because you said flavor. You're gonna say flavors.
there's a whole bunch of different flavors, yeah. So there's
Good.
and what's great is especially I haven't tried all of them because I only like vanilla. But
Basic
the,
ass.
but the vanilla and according to him the chocolate, they taste just
chocolate's
like
pretty good.
regular ice cream. They
Okay,
taste
cool.
legit, and they don't have like sugar or anything.
Yeah, they use
I'll definitely
stevia and
look
monk
into
fruit.
that.
Yeah.
Stevia and monk
Because
fruit.
I do want to, I told you guys this last time, I really just want to eat out there. Because I feel like crap.
I want to eat healthier,
After I
too.
eat potato chips,
I
I'm
want
like,
all of
I
you to
feel
eat
like
healthier.
shit.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
Can't be the soybean oil.
Can't be the
You've, like,
sugar
transitioned
in the
that?
garden.
I've been since
That's
first
awesome.
7 months. Not 7 months.
What have you
yeah,
been
7
doing?
months. Like mostly vegan. I still will like occasionally eat cheese, but
Cheese is good in moderation, but it
Yeah.
also depends where you're getting the cheese from, right?
See, my,
is it organic? Is it
well, so
aged? Is it
my brother's wife is a certified cheese person or professional.
okay?
Which it sounds kind of silly, but it's like
Sounds badass,
the
actually.
wine sommelier equivalent.
That job sounds amazing.
So she had to like
love
go
cheese.
through
Me
all
too.
this training and take like a test that only like 2% of the population pass, whatever. So she will always like get us really, really fancy ass cheeses. And usually during like a celebration, we'll do like a beer and cheese pairing. So like for Father's Day or my dad's birthday, recently we had one. And you know, you can't say no to cheese.
The trick is
I
get
love
rid of all
cheese.
that processed food, man. That
Yeah.
stuff will destroy you.
I know.
Yeah.
Stop with the potato
It's really
chips,
bad.
man.
I know, leave me alone.
Now I'm talking
Stop it.
directly to you.
It's ever since I was a little kid, I just
I-
always loved potato chips.
I understand. I'm the same way with goldfish, but
I'm the
I
same
know.
way.
I always think about you when I eat a potato chip. I'm like, Mike is probably eating a goldfish right now. Mike's
actually I'm
probably
not. but
Wait, did you give them up like completely?
I only will eat them. This is the only time.
No,
the only
I
time
remember you told me you'll eat them, and that's the only thing you'll eat for the day, right?
No, so that was no. So there was a thing where no. What would happen is if I did
Great
eat
solution.
them, then I would fast because I knew I did something
Fast.
because I
Got it,
knew I'd
okay.
fucked up,
You're on punishment.
and
Got it,
so I'd be on
okay.
punishment and wouldn't eat until the next day, and then I'd start over because eating that shit is just terrible. But like I'll eat it on vacation. Because on vacation, I just eat whatever the fuck I want because I know when I come home that I go back to work and go back to doing my thing.
You come back to me. And then I'm like,
No, I come back.
Mike.
I come back to my good steak and I'm like,
I'm like, Mike.
but then but like I that's the really only time I really eat goldfish is like if I'm gonna go on vacation or I'm on vacation already, or if I'm let's say if we go to the movies, which we really can't do anymore, but if we go to the movies and like we're seeing like this big event thing, then I'd just be like, I'm gonna bring some goldfish because
Yeah,
this is a
okay.
fun time.
I get that, yeah.
But but other than that, like no, I don't really do that anymore.
Okay.
It's just steak, eggs, and meat, other meat. It's good.
I can relate. I do enjoy.
I do eat butter as well, but not just
Oh
only
my
butter.
god.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, potato chips are
No,
my
stop it.
weakness.
I mean, it's hard for me to resist warm chocolate chip cookies baked in the oven on a cold winter night next to a fire with a glass of milky.
I can't believe you just said milky.
I say what I want.
I can't believe you
own
just
this
said-
podcast.
Okay. But you know what is good though? This low carb white pizza that my dad makes.
Mike, what is this pizza that you're talking
Oh
about? I'm
my
so
god!
confused.
It is like something that the gods created for me to consume and for me to let everyone know about. This keto friendly pizza, no carbs whatsoever, and it's just mozzarella cheese, cream cheese, almond flour, a whole bunch of other shit.
There are
And
a little bit of carbs, but like barely any. Like
Yeah, it's
nothing
like,
that'll impact like a
you know,
low
like
blood sugar.
like four,
Got it.
like 4.5 carbs or whatever per slice or something, or like per the pie, and it's so orgasmic. Like it's like
Love
you just
that.
eat it, and like what's great about it is that you can have it sitting, you can make it, and then you can like cut it all up, put it in like a box. In like one of those containers, leave it out. You can leave it out for a couple days, and you put it in a microwave, and it tastes the same, and it won't go bad for like a few days. You can even put it in the fridge, and then you eat it, and you heat it up, it tastes the same.
Yeah, you have to try it.
Oh my god! I was hoping to have some. I was hoping to get the ingredients for my dad and I to make it for you guys to try.
Oh my god, you're
but
so sweet.
but we couldn't get the ingredients, so we couldn't do it. Sorry, guys.
So your
next time
parents are on the
it
keto diet too?
My mom is.
Your dad's not.
My dad should be. Let me say that right now. My dad should be because he's a diabetic, so he
Okay, got
really
it.
should be doing it. He knows that he should be doing it, but he chooses not to because he's ridiculous. But anyway,
No,
besides
your
the point,
mom's
my mom,
on it though. That's really cool.
yeah, my mom's doing it. She's really trying it out. She's been having a rough time with it, but like I've been motivating her to really get into it. I've been having her try different things because she hasn't been seeing a lot of progress that she wanted to see. So I'm telling her that she needs to, do different things, eat different things, try other things out to see what can break the plateau that she's
That's
having,
awesome though. That you have that effect on your mom. Like I think that's really great.
Yeah, I'm doing the right thing. I
Yeah,
think.
it's sweet.
And I've been telling her to talk to this man about because she always asks me questions and it's always the questions that I don't know.
Got it.
And so I'm like, why don't you just like text Andrew about it? Andrew knows everything about it. So
Yeah.
like, I
I'm
don't
a
know this.
student of life, I know some things.
Like these questions I don't know specifically, but if you talk to Andrew might know. But she doesn't do that all the time.
It's, a lot of people are very misguided when it comes to food. That's a whole other.
It's a whole other
I
thing.
could just talk about that forever. But it's too early in the night to be ranting about people not eating the right stuff and.
But I didn't know that you started going vegan.
Yeah, my
Tell us about that.
boyfriend's vegan, and it was always something that I wanted to do. And I always had really weird skin issues where I would break out in hives. And for a while, I always thought it was food based because my mom had a very similar issue. So I started like cutting out dairy for a while, even before I was dating my boyfriend. And I was just like, you know what? I don't really eat meat to begin with, so why don't I try going vegetarian for a while? So I started doing that, and I think just in dating him too, trying to like figure out meals to make and dinner and everything.
Was he vegan first, and then you kind of?
He's been vegan
decided to-
for like years now, but just in trying to like figure out stuff to cook and for stuff to him too, I was like, why don't I just fully transition? And I love cooking too, so I was always looking to make new recipes and everything. So it was
what's
just
like a normal
something
day
that-
of eating for you? I'm honestly just curious.
So in the morning, I'll have coffee, and my mom
Good man. Love coffee.
does Max Fitness. So usually she'll make like these berry pancakes that I think uses like egg replacer and protein powder and berries basically. And she'll fry those, and we'll always have like fruit salad and everything as well. Sometimes I'll get like waffles, like frozen vegan waffles from ShopRite or something, just in case if I like need to get to work and I'm running late. For lunch, usually I'll make like a giant salad, or I'll have like a veggie burger, or I really like making these bean tacos with cannellini beans, and I'll mix it with like pico de gallo and like pineapple and
That sounds
everything.
good.
Yeah, so I usually
Coming
have
over
that. And then dinner, I don't know why. Sometimes it's usually just something like that as well. Or I'll make like vegan pasta. I was making like vegan penne vodka and with like cashew cheese for a while, which was really, really good. But usually
So you
I'll
just
just
don't
go,
like
back
you don't
and
like steak
forth.
or eggs, or you just like you've
I
always
mean,
been
I
like
love
that. Or
steak. Don't get me wrong. I love steak. But
do you ever have like I don't know would a cheat meal for someone who's vegan just be eating meat? Would that technically count as a cheat meal? Probably. It might be a dumb question. I don't know why I just got this thought, but it's right. What was that?
I mean,
weird to say?
yeah, I mean, for a while, that's what I was doing. So, like, once a week, I'll be like, all right, I'm going to have a cheat meal and try to have, like, meat or dairy or cheese or, like,
Does it
something
make
like
you feel
that.
guilty? If you
Not
ever eat,
really,
Or,
just
or are you just doing it
because-
just because you think it'll be healthier or like a.
Well, so for a while, as I said, like, I was having new skin issues where I was breaking
Yeah,
out in
yeah.
hives. So I really wanted to test it to see if it was food and it's been working.
How long have you been
So
doing
for
that now?
7 months now.
7 months. Oh, shit. Have you lost like any weight from it, or gained muscle maybe, or like any interesting?
I don't think so.
Interesting.
Funny, I also haven't weighed myself in like
okay.
years.
Same.
So
Just figured I'd ask.
I want to say I probably stayed the same
What do you get your
or
protein
gained
from?
weight. Usually I'll do like plant-based protein.
You have like the powder. I think they
I
use
have the
pea
powder.
protein, right?
I don't know what this
I don't
one
know,
is.
what's it,
We
pea
had my
protein?
mom had one that was
It's
from
like-
like pumpkin seeds or some
Yeah,
weird bullshit
yeah.
like that for a while. So usually I'll do that in like the morning and make like a shake as well, or like a smoothie or something like that. And then usually I'll try to get it from like lentils, nuts, different veggies.
Pro tip:
things
if you
like
ever get
that.
like a vegan protein shake, get the ones that are sweetened with stevia and monk fruit. Those are natural sweeteners. They won't
Yeah.
spike. So pro tip, got you back.
I'm pretty sure that's what my mom.
Yeah,
does,
that's the good stuff.
honestly, Yeah.
That's the best quality stuff.
Yeah, what was what was that thing? The other sweetener. There's another sweetener, erythritol. I don't know if you ever heard of that, but like I would rather go with the monk fruit and stuff, but erythritol is like a sugar alcohol. It doesn't really spike too much blood sugar, but that one's also really good.
Erythritol is okay in moderation.
Yeah, you just got to be.
Erythritol,
I say
stevia, monk fruit.
Monk fruit is probably the
Those
best.
those are your best bets. Just
Monk
throwing
fruit
it
is
out
probably the
there.
best.
I always
But-
try to help.
Yeah, and what's so funny is like that you brought up like vegan is because like when people see us and we talk about our diet, the way that we
Yeah, we're
eat,
pretty much like-
everyone says, "Oh, you must hate vegans," and then we're like, "No, we don't hate vegans. People who are vegan will eat whatever they want
like,
because
no,
they're their own person."
I just want to make sure they're getting their protein.
We just
in
want to
this.
make sure that they're eating the right because I feel like like Burger King, how they're making that the impossible.
Impossible? Yeah.
I feel like that is
Pure
like the
garbage,
worst
yeah, man.
thing.
I haven't honestly looked into it.
It's
but
the ingredients. They're absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like
horrible
that is
ingredients.
like the worst thing for anyone.
But no, I like completely agree with you guys too, because you could say like, all right, I'm gonna be vegetarian and like cut out meat, but you could eat but like you could eat potato chips, or like I'm gonna get a cheese quesadilla from Taco Bell or like something like that, and you could still be not eating meat, but you could literally be eating pure trash. And
Yeah, well, some people use like. I'm a vegan, so I could eat pancakes and I could eat the waffle.
well, that's the thing too. Like, I feel like there's such a stereotype of where people are like, "Oh, vegans are always healthy," but there's also so much junk food with being a vegan,
There are
or there's
junk
so much like
vegan,
processed
yeah.
shit
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really funny that
You have
you
to
brought that
be
up.
very careful with all ingredients. No matter what diet you're on.
Yeah.
The ingredients are very important. You have to look at the back of the label.
Usually the most processed are the worst. I feel like the best way to eat is just to eat as natural as possible in everything. Like no matter if it's meat, if it's vegetables, fruits, whatever, if it's pure natural fruit, vegetable, meat, then that's probably the best way to do it. At my job, let's talk about this real quick. At my job, we started creating these drinks that say they're real fruit smoothies, right? Let me tell you that it is not true. The only fruit that is real is the banana. Let me just say that. The other stuff is like, it's like a percent. It's like 40 something percent of it is real fruit. And then the rest of it is not. So like if you got like a strawberry smoothie, right? 40% of that smoothie is real strawberry.
So like
That's
concentrate.
terrible. It's terrible. We went from having this pump thing that like other like like all those drink places they'll have, and we went to these little boxes that just it makes it look like it's real fruit in there, and it's just not fruit at all. It's
Yeah.
just this puree, terrible
It's pure
shit.
sugar, man.
It's pure garbage.
Yeah, my uncle
don't
believes
want
that everything that is killing us, like cancer and all that, it's in our food.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It is. Especially in the processed stuff. A lot of those really big processed types of foods and stuff. And even actually, it's even funny. It's even in a lot of the meat too. A lot of the cheaper meats that you can get, those are very processed. They feed those cows like soy and corn and all that shit. And that's where a lot of like those vegetarian people, like they'll go and they'll like shove the videos in your face of like them abusing
Yeah.
these animals and trying to change you to the other side or whatever. But like I feel like that's not a good way to like do that. I feel like it's a good way to show those things, but for people to choose if they want to eat meat that where the cows and all these other animals are treated well, or to go into vegetarianism or veganism and stuff. And I feel like that's not talked about enough, is that, these animals are not getting, a lot of these animals are being abused as fuck. They're getting fucked up, and they're fucking us up. And so that's why when we eat meat, we eat like grass-fed, grass-finished like meats, or pasture-raised like eggs or chicken.
Yeah, the one thing vegans get completely right is that a lot of animal products can be considered unhealthy because of the way the animals are raised and the way they're treated and what they're fed, and the hormones that are being injected into them to make them grow faster. Like, have you ever wondered why the rotisserie chicken at ShopRite is so cheap? It's because those chickens are just pumped and they are shipped out faster than you can pee, right? They're literally raised to be like sold. They're not raised to be eaten. This is my personal quote I just came up with in my head. They're not raised to be eaten. They're raised to be sold. They don't care about like. They don't tell you what they feed the chickens, like, oh, lean protein. No, this would be great for me. But they don't tell you that the chicken's been fed a diet of grains and pumped full of antibiotics.
It's
and
awful.
It's garbage. So vegans get that right, absolutely. But what people need to focus on is that the good quality animal products, which are healthy for you, that have the healthy fats, such as grass-fed and grass-finished meats, pasture-raised organic eggs, like stuff like that. That's the good meats. Grass-fed lamb, bison's good because by law they're not allowed to pump them full of crap. So by law, bison's actually very, very healthy, which is why it's so expensive for anyone wondering out there. So, the vegans got that right, but they don't talk about they don't talk about the good quality meats that are very healthy for you, and studies have shown that. So that's just my input. As long as you just take out the sugar. Take out the processed crap.
I say no matter
that's
what
one
diet.
thing anyone can agree on.
Yeah.
Stop going to McDonald's.
I told you guys I wasn't eating sugar for like a month.
Yeah.
And I felt so good.
I wonder why.
I felt really good. My stomach went down.
Interesting.
And then I ate cereal. I told you guys this. I told you
Yeah,
this
yeah,
last
yeah.
time I was on it, I think.
You had me in the
Same
first half, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
That's how it's cereal.
And I had cereal.
There's a keto cereal called Magic Spoon. Yeah, we need to get sponsored, Mike. Why are we not getting sponsored?
I know, right? Sponsor us, please.
Hello.
So
Hello,
they
we're
make
here.
like cereal, because I love cereal. Like I don't want to
Look
give
up Magic
that
Spoon.
up.
Like the
Okay.
fruity version tastes just like Fruity Pebbles.
That's
Fruit
my
Loops.
favorite cereal
Oh,
too.
I got you back.
Okay, thank you. I really appreciate that.
Magic Spoon.
If you guys can find something for potato chips, like I would.
Oh
really
yeah,
appreciate
the
it.
Quest. I already got you actually. You need to get
Andrew's got
I
all
got
of
the
it.
answers,
He's got
baby.
the
I got
answers
the
for all of
answers.
Got
it.
You gotta get the Quest protein chips. They comes in different flavors. There's natural flavor. There's ranch flavor. There's
Salt
there's all
vinegar?
kinds of what?
Salt and vinegar.
Yeah, they do
That's
have
my
one.
favorite.
Yeah, they
The
do.
worst.
And
Get
GNC.
Out of here.
You can find. I think ShopRite and GNC has it. Yeah.
Okay,
Quest
cool.
protein chips.
Quest
Good
protein.
alternative.
I
Check it
did
out.
see those in GNC. I
I
did
have
see
the
those.
answers.
Okay,
I have
cool.
the answers.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna check it out. I really want to eat healthier.
Smart
I
girl.
really do. It's not that I'm like, oh, this is bullshit. Like I know it's wrong.
Stupid.
Like I know it's wrong, and I want to change.
You have to get your mind off the cocaine. Simple as that. Sugar's like cocaine. If you get
No,
your mind
no,
off it
for
for at least
real.
2 weeks, 14 days,
For real.
you'll be
I
cured.
was doing really well though. Like I wasn't craving anything with sugar in it.
Then you have a bad night. It's like, fuck. I
Yeah.
want that pleasure.
Yeah, I think
You know?
maybe that was it. But yeah,
Oh,
I was doing
definitely.
really well, and then I went back on it. It's awful. It's
Yeah,
so
so
awful.
whenever you have those cravings or you really want sugar, then you just have a little bit of ice cream and then you'll be good.
Okay, got it. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Cookies and ice cream. Woo!
Yay!
No, because you're right. Like it's shit. It's really bad for us, and we still continue to eat it.
Because it gets you.
Because our brains are now just wired to just want to eat that stuff.
Yeah.
Like this man before he started eating that's all he was eating. Like he was just so cookies, you know. And now he's and in the back of his mind he's still like that, but he's like, I'm on a mission. Like I don't want that anymore. That's not good for me anymore. I know. I'm well aware, you know. And it's the same with me with goldfish. Like, oh, I want some goldfish. I'm aware. I need to eat. You know, I need to have my steak. You know.
I think I'm getting there though. Like I've stopped myself like at the store. I'm like, I really want potato chips, but I'm not gonna do it, and then I don't buy them.
Yeah, every
I
time I
don't
go
buy
into
myself.
Costco and I go down the aisle where it has like the big box of goldfish. And I'm just like,
My mom buys it all the time.
I just
It's awful.
stare at it and I'm like, I must get out of this aisle as fast as possible.
I have to go like this when I walk past the chip aisle. I can't look at it, or I'll go down there.
look what our brains have done. Look what they
Yeah.
have done to us, the
Yeah,
government and the sugar companies.
We get addicted way too easy to this kind of stuff.
Don't get me started on the government. We're gonna be here for hours.
The government with all the government.
The government sucks. Well,
Yeah.
you know, we actually did a podcast. It'll be already up by the time this goes up, but we did a political podcast with two other people. It was really
gosh.
it was really a good time actually.
I can't be
Andrew
part
was
of
getting
that
drunk.
one.
Andrew was getting drunk in the middle of
Oh,
it.
yeah, I was
but,
drinking at the bar. Oh, yo, I was like, if I don't drink,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna. Like,
Yeah, understandable, definitely.
we had a few things to say on there, you know, and it actually surprisingly didn't get like crazy, you know, because people when they talk about politics, they're at each other's throats, but we really were civil about it, and we were building off of each other's like things, and all of us we didn't have like full on opposite mindsets. We were very close in a similar proximity to each other.
I thought it was gonna be more of an argument, but everybody kind of agreed on the.
Yeah, because
Same stuff.
it was either people were, in the middle on a lot of the stuff, or like they were, skewed to a certain side that everyone else was skewed on, and so that's just how it went. Or some people were just saying things based on common sense, which usually a lot of people don't do nowadays.
Anyway,
But
so. I cannot pretend like I know everything that's going on because I really don't. So I can't be like, oh, I support this because this. I'm like,
I don't know.
I'm trying to like make some money out here. I'm not trying to worry about like. I mean, I only know what I know.
Yeah, if you don't know anything about politics, then you shouldn't talk about it. But
Yeah.
or
I only
unless
talk
if
about
it
what I
relates,
know,
unless if it relates to something else, which is usually what you did.
Yeah, like once everything started coming out, I was like, okay, I need to educate myself and really see like what's going on, stuff like that. But yeah, politics, I hate talking about it more than anything.
I yell at my parents all the time because like they start talking about it, I'm like, this is all bullshit, and they're just like, what's all bullshit? I'm like, bro, like
Trump supporters.
They're not Trump supporters, but they are Republican, but they're
That's
not.
my dad.
And so I'm like, nah, and they're like, what, are you Democrat? I'm like, no, I'm neither. I don't subscribe to your bullshit to
Yeah,
either
me
one.
too.
So I'm just
I
like,
have to agree with it.
like
I just like I don't want pedophiles in the office, so whatever.
yeah, and
Like-
it's sad because it's on either side of this
Yeah.
race.
Either way, you're doomed.
Either
But there
way,
is
we're
Joe.
screwed.
I don't know if you
so-
heard of Joe Jorgensen though.
No, is he running?
It's actually
Oh.
a female.
Oh my God.
It's actually a female. I know.
Oh, I
I know.
bad. I
And
feel like
it's-
an idiot. Cut this out. Cut this out.
No,
No,
Too
Alex,
late.
don't do that.
it's not your fault. No one really knows who that is anyway.
Yeah, no one knows because
She's running.
yeah, she's
Yeah.
running. She's Libertarian Party, and
Oh wait, I think I have heard
and
about this.
and our friend Kevin, he's been sharing a lot of that stuff to put because both sides are just really bad, and we need like someone else to really go in there. So he's like trying so hard to actually push this third party out like into the spotlight. And so like I've been just telling people, hey, you should check this out and actually do something, because a lot of people, if they don't want to vote for either person, they're not going to vote, and like that in itself is not going to do anything. And so I'm gonna probably end up voting for this person because fuck the other two.
Well, how
honestly.
do you guys feel about Kanye West?
Oh my god, I was gonna say that.
Yo, fuck
The
Kanye
fact
West.
that that's an actual thing.
Who? Where's the Rock?
Yeah, where's Dwayne the Rock Johnson? Bro, he
What's
said
going on with that?
he said he was running. What
I
happened
just
to Dwayne The Rock
thought
Johnson?
of Kim Kardashian being our first lady.
Then we have truly become doomed.
If
No,
we have,
for real.
Then I'll probably have no
like,
hope.
Honestly, like that's just.
but I
But
think
like George would say.
No, it's just like we've failed as a country.
I
We have
think
failed.
the whole Kanye thing is actually a scheme
Me too.
Probably.
actually to get
Me too.
Trump back into office though.
I agree.
Yeah, there's people pulling everything they got on this one because this is like the last chance to get rid of Trump for a lot of people, and this is the last chance to keep Trump in. My take on it is real. I'm very realistic. I'm very logical. So, looking at everything that's going on, it looks like Trump has more loyal followers. So I think he's gonna win because he's gonna have the majority vote because he has enough loyal followers. You know what I mean? Like enough people that support him. I don't know if I support him or not. As I said, I'm not exactly. I don't know what has he done to benefit us.
Nothing.
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 Yeah.
I like if someone asked me
Power to
like,
trans rights, hates queer people, is a pedophile, sexually assaults women.
Hates immigrants.
Can we go on?
Like-
Keeps kids in cages.
Well, that irks me to no end. But
well, it's like when someone asked me what why would you vote for Trump? And I'll be like, I don't know. And then they'll be like, why? And then they'll be like, why would you vote for Joe Biden? I'd be like, I don't know. What have they done?
I don't know.
Joe Biden is about to like croak, and he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Why is he running?
Because Bernie Sanders is a pussy. That's why.
And what really disturbs me and it kind of annoys me is that on Joe Biden's side is that the party and him are trying to just force upon a woman of color, like a trans woman of color, who may not she may not even be suitable for the job. They just want to put someone there. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like anyone, if they're qualified, they should be there. You know, they shouldn't just put someone there because they have these titles. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, having these titles are great, but like if they're not qualified to be there, then they really shouldn't be. Like, Trump's definitely not qualified to be in there, but like we have him, you know, whatever, and we should probably get rid of him. But that's why I'm saying to get Joe Jorgensen on there.
But I don't think she has enough attention to get enough votes.
No, I know.
I don't know if she will
and it
by
doesn't
November.
Help, and it really doesn't help when, you know, you get in these mail-in ballots and it just says you must either check if you're Democrat or Republican, and it doesn't give you a third option.
What if I'm just like, I don't know if I'm on, because they're both playing dirty right now. Let's just face it.
Yeah,
the whole
they
government is
suck.
playing dirty.
Yeah.
And it's not even fair anymore. Like, I'm gonna watch. Well, I'm not gonna watch it because I don't have time. I
No,
have a
and we
busy
just-
life. But those what do you call it?
The debates?
Yes, yes. I don't even. What do I know?
We just watched the meme videos of the debates when
like,
after
I don't
the
have
fact.
enough, I have more. I want to focus on our podcast. I don't have time to focus on the debates. I'll just let Twitter tell me everything that happened, and it's like they're just trying to play dirty. They're not trying to even care. They don't even care about us anymore. Now they just want to win. They want to get the money. They want to get
Yeah,
the.
they don't give a shit.
And they
want
to keep us locked inside
And
our
that's what,
houses.
like, have you guys been keeping up with the Ghislaine Maxwell stuff with Epstein?
Oh, because she's
about to kill herself. So
kill herself.
A lot of
in
people
quotes.
are saying that she's gonna cover for Trump and not say anything about Trump and his involvement with Epstein.
it depends. Someone
And
pay
that's
her
why
off.
he may win in November.
Well, I think there's a lot of factors that are playing him to him winning. Also,
Yeah.
Joe Biden can't say a straight sentence, so that's also why Trump might win. I mean,
Yeah.
you
Well,
know, like, if you listen
yeah.
to him speak, you're like,
It's just embarrassing.
he's like Joe
Yeah.
Biden is like when I wake up, but like all the time. Like when I first wake up, like fuck. That's what he literally is.
There was when all the Jesus Christ.
When I wake up in the morning, I'm literally Joe Biden all the time. Like,
You know, it's actually really funny because when we go for our runs at 5 a.m, that's literally him. He's like,
yo, I don't even wake up until like the second mile. Like,
yeah, not even into the second miles when he starts waking up.
but before that, I'm literally Joe Biden. Like, like what year is this? Like, he doesn't even know. It's literally.
I yelled at Joe Biden on Twitter when all the protests really started happening for BLM and stuff, where he was like, when I'm in office, I'm gonna do this for this. I'm like, you should never have a say in anything, and neither and I was like, you and Trump should stay out of this as far as possible,
Yes.
because this is not about you. Like, you're making it about you. Don't make it about you. Fuck off.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
you know,
I got
It's not
all up in
helping.
their face about it, and then a whole bunch of people were commenting on it like, oh, so do you want to? I'm like, get out
They
of
need
here,
to
bro.
focus on opening up the gyms first before.
Oh my god, yes.
Please.
Yeah, our gym actually closed. Our gym that
Yeah.
we used to
Like
go
it's
to
closed forever.
closed
Like, it's
forever,
done.
permanently
what?
closed.
Why?
Yeah,
They
they just
permanently.
went out. I don't know.
Oh.
They sent us
Well-
email like, "Hey, we're gonna close this
Well,
location."
Cliffwood Beach is opening. Well, Cliffwood, not
LA
Cliffwood Beach.
Fitness.
Yeah, LA
Yeah, LA
Fitness.
Fitness. Yeah.
so-
We
I don't know when.
have a couple
get it.
contenders.
We're right close. We're so close to it. So.
And they got a pool, so they're gonna have a
Wait,
pool.
what?
Yeah, they got a
I'm
pool.
I'm going. I have
First
a pool.
come,
Why
second
am I
come.
like?
First come to what the?
Drink some water, goddammit.
Yeah, it's fine. Go, Mike. What were you saying?
What? What was I saying? Am I gonna make
LA
you laugh
Fitness.
while you're drinking? I don't really
First
know how-
come doesn't have to deal with the piss in the pool.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry,
That's
it's reality.
That's
People pee in the, I'm
disgusting.
sorry.
That's a big reason why I don't want to.
I hate to talk reality, but it happens. People piss in the gym pool.
Yeah,
I'm
I don't,
sorry.
that's
don't
why
wanna say it.
I'm not really about the pools.
I am. I'll deal with it.
Yeah, I don't
My
know why
pool,
I'm
on
like,
the other hand.
I'm like so obsessed with LA Fitness having a pool because I literally have a pool. Like I don't need to go to LA Fitness because I have a pool.
That's how I feel
so-
too.
Well, I
but
don't have a pool, Mike. So
I understand that. You do have a hot tub though.
I do have a hot tub.
Yeah, Beth sometimes posts about
But I can't
it.
swim. Like I can't do long distance swimming in my hot tub. I can. That won't end up well.
No, not really.
Michael Phelps, baby, in the hot tub, like
Going like 2 feet,
yeah,
2 feet again.
doing little paddles. I think I can.
I think I can.
I can swim, Mom.
I'm gonna start working out in the pool.
You should.
You
Just
should.
check out our aquatic videos. Woo, this is us just
Can
jumping
you
in the
guys
pool.
do more of those? Like, I'm not trying to make a joke. Like, I think you guys should do more of those.
Yeah. Okay.
You have the access to the pool. I can't just go. I mean, maybe I could. I guess. 5 a.m. Andrew, why are you in my pool?
Jesus Christ! If you're here at 5 a.m., I'm gonna be
Would
pissed
you be
off.
surprised though? Would you be
I'm
surprised?
gonna be really mad.
I have work at 7 a.m. It's either now or never. Okay. Gotta do it. I like to get my
No, I
exercise in
think that's
before work.
really like awesome that you guys do all this stuff in the morning and then you guys go to work.
Every day.
Every day.
Sucks. I hate running, but it's.
Yeah, like
I hate it so much.
like our normal time for our runs are 8:30, right? So I wake up around 7:30 or 7:45 and go to his street. We do our run. I get out. I get home. I shower. I make my food. I eat my food. I work on all gain stuff, or if I'm in school, I'm working on all gain stuff and my homework for school. And then I go to work for 1 p.m. Work until 10, and then do it again.
Yeah,
And
it's
then-
a long day.
And then on Thursday and
Thursday and
Friday, on Thursday and Friday, wake up 5 in the morning to go run at 5:30, and then do the same thing. And then now I have more time to work on videos and stuff for all games and stuff. And then I go to work on Thursday 1 to 10, and then Friday, and then I have to be up at 5 o'clock in the morning again to do another run on Friday. So that in itself sucks. But Friday I'm off, so like I have like the whole day to do whatever. So I'm like, it's cool. And then Saturday we do 3 p.m. runs because
When I get out of work and it's like, well, try to stick together to prove the point, like brotherhood. And we, ever since Corona pretty much started, we've been running every day. And I hate running, which means I have to do it because discipline, right? So
yeah, and you were also the dumb one that said, yeah, we're gonna run every single day and record it.
And then we were
so
like,
we had
"What?"
to run every single day.
What did you just say?
Yeah, on an Instagram live, you were like, we're gonna run every single day and record it because discipline. And I'm like, excuse me. And so
I was like, yeah, Mike and I are gonna. Excuse me.
what? And so yeah,
But we just did it anyway.
We just been doing it.
We just rolled with it, and I think that's very important. Sometimes when life throws you a football, you just got to run with it.
Yeah, and a lot of people have gotten motivated. It actually motivated my girlfriend and a couple of her friends that they've just been running whenever they can.
Yeah,
but
our
they
friend
don't
Nick
run
too.
And Nick, Nick's
Our friend Nick has been running every day too. He
Yeah.
lost like 50 pounds during the Carmona. So there are people who are making the best of the situation.
yeah.
know?
Not everything looks grim where everyone's just getting
Only
fatter.
in California everything looks horrible, but here, there's hope.
Or in Florida.
Or Seattle.
Let's not talk about Seattle.
Anyway, but yeah, But there are people who are trying to make the
people
impact.
and those are the people that I respect. That they're really trying something. I know you guys are also like really on the emotional alchemy thing, and it's really inspirational, honestly, motivational. That you guys are sticking to it. You have the vision. You guys are on it. It's like how we are with all gains and stuff, and running every day. You stay on the motivation, stay on the mindset.
That's all you can do. Stay on the path. You're as long as you keep consistent and like stay on the grind and just don't let anyone tell you that stupid idea or to stop, or because you can't stop it now. You've gone too far. That's my opinion, at least. You've already come to a point where you made a name and you have ideas. Now you just have to run. As I said, you get a football, you got to run with it. This might be your football.
So
Yeah, I'm hoping that this is our. I need this to be our big football. And we need to run very far.
I think
Game
Pat
on,
and
baby. Game on.
Game on.
I think Pat and I need something just after everything that's been going on. I think if we didn't have this, then we probably would just be like in the deep end by now.
It's your passion.
Yeah.
It's too late now. You know what you want to do, and now you just have to do it. There's no cheat codes, but there are rewards for winning the game.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah, you just have to figure out how to win the game, and you're there.
There's many
we're,
ways
We're
to
trying. We're trying so hard to win, and everyone's got to try to win. You can't just be in the game just to be in the game. You have to be in the game to win.
you could do two things. You could play to win, or you could play not to lose. And right now, I think it's better if we play to win.
especially when everything around you is like trying to make you lose. Especially, you know, the climate of the world right now is just making us lose.
Take all that negative energy and be like, nah, I'm gonna do my thing anyway. And if you don't like it, you're not on my team. And not everybody's gonna be on your team. Of course, you know that. You know, but the people who are on your team are gonna be great benefit to you in the future. That's important to remember as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So, so you guys have a website for. We'll talk about that. Like, what specifically do you guys have on there? Like, how does it run?
Basically, it's just another way to showcase people's work. So we pretty much will do like a digital magazine, which is the website, and then an actual print magazine. So we started off pretty much with the digital and just was trying to get as much work as we possibly could and content for our magazine. And then slowly we started doing the prints, but it's really just another extension, as I said, another place for people to send in work, try experimenting with new kind of medias. So we have like video and film on there. We have people's photography and artwork. And really it was just another place too, where like, if we had things that couldn't be put in the print magazine, could we put it on our website and try to figure out a way to do it? So right now it's just still showcasing a lot of our contributors' work, even some work from us, work that we weren't even able to put into the magazine that's from us too. I'm trying to think what else. It's also just like another place to learn more about us. We have like an About Us page on there. It's another place for people to also send in work. So we have a option where people could contact us through our email. We'll get a little form that says like, hey, I would love to contribute to you guys. Is there any information that you could send? So really just, I don't know.
Kind of like a portfolio, I guess, but not really like a portfolio, but it's just.
Oh yeah. Portfolio for the brand.
Yeah, thank you.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, like a portfolio of the brand.
And like a lot of the pictures, like especially the pictures you post on your like Instagram and stuff, like do you do that, or is it like a combination of both of you
That's
making those
mostly
pictures?
Pat does all of it, right? Yeah.
I would say, yeah. So, I mean, like, there's been photo shoots that I've exclusively done with Shaman for the magazine, but there's also, like, we've been lucky to get in some really awesome photography for our contributors. And then usually if there's, like, a poetry piece that we get submitted, I would like to at least get some visual for it. So, you know, we do use, like, Shutterstock photos if need be, but for the most part, it's kind of a mix of my photography with our contributors' photography.
That's pretty cool. No, because like I always see the pictures like from your posts and stuff. I'm like, wow, this looks really nice. Like I was like, how do you do this? Like what? Like I'm not good at pictures.
Me either. It's all Pat. I
Thank you.
know nothing about design or anything. I think it looks been
Constantly winging it.
No, but it's been
Aren't we
looking
all?
pretty good. I
Thank
looked
you.
at our account like on Instagram. I was like, oh, the colors look like really nice. Everything
try.
it looks good. I think it looks good. You're welcome.
You got that eye. It's like the eye.
Yeah.
The eye of the
I
tiger.
have a degree in it, so I'm hoping this
Yeah.
If I
you know,
ever
my degree
self-publish,
pays off.
if I ever self-publish, I would probably ask Pat to design the book. Just because I trust him.
We'll
Oh
have
my
we'll
gosh,
have
I'm
to
gonna
we'll
cry.
have to think about that too.
The best thing you can do is just stay on the prize and keep up the journey, because it's not going to end here. There's a lot of obstacles in your way to go, and it's going to be great to smash through those motherfuckers. So
Fuck yeah.
I'm so excited to smash through them too. I'm like so over it. I'm just
you will.
tired.
Patience.
I just want us to catch a break. That's really about it.
It's gonna come, as long as you stay on the prize, keep running. That's what I can say.
Yeah.
But
Thank you guys for coming on. This was
you for having
Thank you
us.
so much.
This is,
definitely.
it's been
We
epically
appreciate
epic.
it.
This has been fun. Honestly, it's been really fun. It's been a good time. I actually really enjoyed this one. We went on a lot of different tangents, but I think
Yeah.
I think we made some good progress and
I
good
think so, too.
made some good common ground. And I hope you guys enjoyed your time on the podcast.
I always do. Thank
Definitely
you.
let the audience know where they can find you.
Okay, at emotional _
You're so bad at
No
this.
wait, I know I really am really bad
Come
at this
on
at
now.
plugging everything. It's emotional alchemy _ mag, right?
I think it's emotional. Yeah, I think it's at the Emotional Alchemy _magazine, and then our website is emotionalalchemymag.com.
Got it. Okay, I switched it to. Sorry.
Yeah,
I
find
really
us on
suck.
Instagram. Find us on Google.
Yeah. Type it in Google Chrome, whatever you want to use, and I think we're like the top one that comes up, right? We're not.
You wish. But yeah, we just released a new mini-zine. It's called Tales from the Front Porch. It's talking about themes on tradition and Americana. Just released
fun.
this week. Check it out. It's on blurb.com too.
We're also selling the first one still if you want to pick it up.
I say you should probably definitely pick it up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Definitely pick it up, guys.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you guys again. It's been great.
Thank you for having
Yeah,
us.
definitely. Thank
Also,
you.
definitely, audience, check out their Facebook group that they will make. Definitely
definitely.
join.
Soon.
Yes,
And if you
Like
watch
say-
this, check out the All Gains Mindset Facebook group. Link
Yes.
in the description below.
yes, and you can definitely join the community. It's gonna be a
It
good
is
time.
open to the public.
It's open to the public.
It's very welcoming,
Open swim.
so join.
Open swim. All right, guys. Thank you for
And we will catch you
everything.
soon.
And catch you later.